Somebody on in that forum thread that's suggesting Twitter handles for me has made me paranoid about opening the show with "Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast." So I'm trying to think of something else.
Greetings, listeners.
Hey guys.
No, that's even worse. I used to say "Hey guys," and then I
Hey,
switched
guys.
to "Hello, everyone."
You haven't done hey guys in a long time.
I don't want to do either one.
You don't want to
Hey,
just
guys,
throw
hey.
back.
I'm gonna go with what Nolan said. Greetings, listeners. Welcome to 4Player Podcast, episode 464. My name is Nick Henderson. I am joined this evening by Bradley Simons,
Hello.
Nolan Hedstrom,
Hey, everybody.
and filling in for Crispy this week, who is on assignment at the premiere of Ghostbusters or something. Christopher Davis.
Good evening.
Good evening. That's one thing you've never changed, Chris Davis. You've always responded to this with
Because it's quite polite.
good evening. I get it. Okay, fine. It is polite. How is everybody doing?
That's such a weird thing to say, though. Like, do you say that to people in person, Chris Davis?
Do you walk up to order fast food and they're like, "Hi," and you're like, "Greetings,
Hey, good evening.
No.
good evening"?
No.
Do you say good evening in the morning when people
I don't believe so.
when people pass you in the hall? I feel like it's just something you say so naturally that you just say it without thinking about it. Regardless of what time of day.
In the morning,
it is.
I'll say morning.
Because to me, good evening sounds weird. Like, if you were to
Well,
just...
it sounds like you sound a little like Dracula when you say it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Good evening.
You sound like an old guy from the 50s, maybe, like, if you were, like, a businessman. But, like, because, like, when I was in France, like, your greeting to people at night was bon nuit, which is, like, good night, or... no, wait. Bon nuit is good night as you're going to sleep. Bonsoir is, like... kind of like the good evening kind of type thing.
So
or
I'm
whatever.
watching. Sorry, this is the weirdest. This is just a random tangent all of a sudden. But I'm watching Penny Dreadful.
Okay.
On Netflix.
Okay.
And which takes place in the 1800s in
Nick, I don't mean to interrupt, but you watch a lot of TV.
I know they close a lot of conversations with "Good morning," "Good afternoon." That's how they close the conversation.
Yeah, back in the fucking day you used to.
Good morning. And I was like, whoa. This conversation's been happening for a few minutes now. What is going on? And then it's like, oh, they're leaving now. This is very strange.
Yeah. You used to say that when you were leaving someone as in have a good rest of your morning.
Yeah.
But you're not just watching Penny Dreadful. You're like on like the 4th season or some shit.
I finished the first season, which is a short season.
I do think that is why Nick plays less games than
Yeah,
us
you do watch a lot.
sometimes.
Like it'll be like a week will pass, and you're like, I haven't had time to do anything. I did rewatch 3 seasons of Smallville, but I have no time to play games.
I did. Do you know why I do that? It's predominantly because personally, I spend 8 hours in front of my computer, and the last thing I want to do right when I get home is sit down in front of my TV and watch and play a game. It's too much, too involved. I like to unwind. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times I'll watch an episode of TV while I'm eating dinner, and then I'm like, well, I don't want to stop there. It was a good episode. I'm going to keep going.
There's your problem, Nick. And I used to have that problem,
What,
but I've
self-control?
stopped. Because, like, last night, I did the dishes. I ate dinner while I was doing the dishes. And I was watching something on TV. I think it was fucking a random episode of Chopped. I don't really even watch Chopped. But then, like, they're like, oh, and the new ingredients are... I was like, wait, no, stop. Go play games. And I just turned it off.
What can I say? There's a lot of
Chopped
really
sucks.
intriguing television out there right now that I would like to watch.
What's the host name? Tim something? Tim Duncan? No, Tim... whatever. He's not the best host. If you're listening to this, Tim, you're great. But he's not the best host. Like, he's just kind of blah.
I don't even know what the show is. Chopped?
Chopped? You've never seen Chopped?
Is it a reality show? of some kind?
No.
No.
Let's not waste our time talking about bad shows.
Chopped is a show. No,
Let's waste our time talking about bad video games.
wait, I thought we were going to do questions.
Good
Yeah,
transition.
no, we're going to.
Oh, okay.
There's...
We had a lot of comments this week.
We
Fuck is
did
up on this
have...
banner. What has anybody been playing this week? Has anybody played a real video game?
I have. It's just...
Don't raise y'all's hands. Stop it. Everyone hands down. Nobody's been playing shit.
I've been playing Mirror's Edge and
I've
Red
been
Dead
playing
Redemption.
a lot.
I've been
and
Those
playing
Dark
aren't
quite a
real.
bit.
Those
Dark
aren't
Souls.
real.
Wait, they're not real because they're more than a week old?
That and or mediocre.
Whoa. Let's be careful there.
Mediocre.
Do we have
Oh,
any
you're
feedback?
alluding to Mirror's Edge.
Yes. Do we have any feedback?
Yeah. Oh, we have a ton of feedback. Actually, there's actually quite a few comments from last week. So, first of all, thank you guys for commenting. And as a reminder, you can leave comments on the post for every podcast, and we'll address them at the beginning of the show. So I'm just going to go through these because we don't have a lot of game impressions to talk about this week. So I'm going to go through this one at a time. Well, not all of them. Here we go. This first one is for Brad. It's
Yes.
from Gonzo. In fact, there were 3 or 4 comments that were related to your
Hell yeah. Oh, Persona probably.
yeah Persona.
Yeah, let's
a lot
talk
of comments
about
on your discussion last week
This
about
can-
Persona.
Roll into whatever. Oh, well, I guess we're not rolling into anything.
Well, can I comment on it real quick? Because I did listen to the podcast.
Yes.
And I just wanted to say, Brad, when you were, because I remember you were talking about how you know when it came to running through the dungeons and stuff, you used to like explore levels, but you eventually just started like rushing through
Yeah.
them. And so I kind of feel the same. And because I recently, I say recently, probably the last time I played was 2 months ago, was playing through Persona 3 because I wanted to finish it.
They're
like
very
you.
similar.
Yeah, they're very similar games. And I'd never finished 3 or played 4, so I wanted to finish 3, pick up 4 before 5 comes out. Is that going to happen? I don't know. They're long games. But when I first played Persona 3 back in 2008, I would explore fucking every single like nook and cranny of the dungeons. But now that I'm replaying it, I'm like, what's the fucking point?
There's
Like I go
nothing
through
interesting
there
about the layouts.
and I run through until I can stop, until I have to stop because you can't progress any farther, and then I don't go back in until the game tells me to.
Well, the good thing about Persona 4 is there's no like fatigue. So
that sucks in
And
Persona
each
3.
character has their own dungeon, and I just did 2 that were like 11 floors each.
Wait, there's fatigue in Persona 3?
In Persona 3, if you're out too long, you get tired and fatigued, and then the next day you like are like too tired, and so some shit
I
goes
actually
worse.
kind
the
of like
next
that
day.
better though,
Really?
because in Persona 4, the most efficient thing to do is do the entire dungeon in one go. So I feel compelled to do that, and that's when it starts to get kind of long and tedious and just not very fun because the battles are paper thin. But go
Anyway,
ahead, Nick.
Yeah.
First comments from Gonzo Lude. He says, I think Brad would have a better time with Persona 4 if you played on New Game Plus because...
How do you
I know.
do that?
This is just an observation. Because when you beat the game, all of your stats stay the exact same as when you finish it, which are understanding, diligence, courage, knowledge, and expression. Meaning you can just focus on improving your social links whenever you're out and about in school and the town. But that's still the core of the problem is the combat.
You know what I say to
Dry.
that is that the social link system is a cool idea because, I mean, in theory, the idea of like, oh, hey, build relationships with all these characters, which is the good part of the game, honestly, talking to these characters and the funny situations you get in. But the way they feed into the combat is just like an experience boost when you fuse personas. Like that's all it is. Like the whole game hinges around these social links and the payoff outside of some occasional extra things that they do in battle is this experience bonus. And it's like, who cares? Because
The thing is, yeah, no, and
personas are so replaceable.
No,
anyways.
I agree. And that's something that I felt. I think 3 and 4 are very, very similar in that regard.
Yeah.
And that the whole point, how it ties in is if you have a persona of that type when you're hanging out with someone, it goes up more. Your friendship, your social goes up more. And then the more your social goes up, the more powerful you can pump out those personas. You can pump out personas of that type at a higher level or whatever. But then, like
Yeah.
you were saying, all the personas are completely replaceable. I don't give a shit about any of them.
For the fabulous pony.
I only want them for their attacks, and when it comes to like fusing them, I don't look at what they're going to fuse into. I look at what attacks they're going to retain when they fuse into them, because I want to make sure.
Is anyone else ever tempted to pick personas purely based on how they
aesthetics?
look?
Probably, and they
mean,
probably had a shitty time.
You fucking could. I mean, that's the thing. Combat is paper thin. You know, I'm writing a little bit about this. Maybe some.
Yeah.
Any more Persona questions?
Yeah, this one is from Slardacity. Slardacity. It says, knowing who the killer is in Persona 4, which is something that you mentioned was spoiled for you.
His name is Slardass.
Slardacity.
Slardass?
Slardacity. It says, knowing who the killer is in Persona 4 isn't that big of a deal. There's more to it than that, and it's not as clear-cut as you might think. Aimlessness is kind of the bread and butter of the first playthrough of a Persona game, as of the third one.
Aimlessness is not a good bread and
You
butter.
say, yeah, you say,
It's also not a good bread and butter for like a fucking 90-hour game.
It's true. You sort of make your own focus by doing and not doing things as you play through the game. The main plot, while good, isn't the reason why this game got so big.
You know how OCD I am with these games, right?
Oh,
I
yes.
like
Yes.
to I need to know what every persona is going to do
Yeah.
so I can plan ahead and like go, I'm going to do this and this so I can ultimately get that and that. You know, it's like when I'm working on a character and say like Final Fantasy Tactics, I have little miniature goals anytime I go into a battle, and then grand goals for what I'm gonna turn that into in the future. You can't really like plan ahead in Persona. You don't know what skills a Persona is gonna get. You don't know what it's gonna be able to fuse into. You don't know even what social links. I mean, it's very aimless and arbitrary. And
I mean, based on that OCD nature that you have, it's a wonder for me why you don't go out and get guides every now and then, especially for like JRPG.
oh, because
Who the fuck buys guides anymore?
So, I used to play like Suikoden games with like character guides and stuff, so I didn't like miss anyone. And when I was doing it, I didn't mind so much. But I remember when I was playing Suikoden 5, I was like, man, I can't do this anymore. This is no way to play a game. It's just, it's following an FAQ. Ugh. But you can't do that in Persona anyways. Because it's just, because the FAQ would say it doesn't really matter. Just fucking hang out with whoever you want.
I wanted to comment on, there were some people in chat talking. No one here is hating on Persona. We all fucking love the games. It's one of those situations where
we're all playing it right now because we're excited.
When you love a game, it makes it easier to see its flaws. Because it's like, man, this game would be so much better if this wasn't the case, or if this was.
We're all very, very enthusiastic and excited about Persona 5.
Anyway, go on.
Anyways, let's see. Zerby. This is actually in reference to, we had briefly mentioned at some point we had talked about movie-based. I think a patron maybe had asked a question about movie-based games or game-based movies. Sorry.
Yeah, games based on or movies
Zerby's,
based on games. Is what you were talking about.
Zerby said, "I feel that what movie companies need to do when creating a story and transitioning to a game." Creating a story from a gaming franchise is they need to focus on being an extension of that world rather than a retelling of one of the original games. It needs to fit with established lore but be able to complement what has happened in the game. In reverse, we see how games like Alien Isolation, which on top of being a good gaming experience connects well with the first movie, but being digestible for newcomers. The Riddick game also did a great job. The movies need to do something like that. And this I thought was particularly interesting just because a lot of like Assassin's Creed is coming out at the end of the year, and that seems to be taking a little bit of a different approach than other movies based on games because it really is like they're taking the premise, they're taking the universe, but they're setting it in a time period that hasn't been in the games. They're featuring a character that hasn't been in the game, and they're just treating it like its own separate entry into that franchise. I don't know if that's a recipe for success or not, but I don't know.
I mean, man, I'm gonna be shocked if that movie is really good.
I think it's a situation. I agree, Brad. I agree, and I think it's one of those situations where when you see a movie based on a game, and I wish I would have been here last week because this is more pertinent to then. Like sometimes it's like, okay, they want to make a movie based on this game, and so there's like either I don't know if it's a screenplay or if it's the director who's like, I really like this concept, but what if the character did this? When in reality, it's like, no, that wouldn't happen. That doesn't make sense in this context, in this universe, but they roll with that. You know what I'm saying? It's like that, and I think that's almost kind of what's happening with Assassin's Creed. We'll see. But, like, yeah, I think that's one of the issues that arises.
Well, how good does the Assassin's Creed movie have to be to shock you? Like aside from, like, if it's amazing, of course, that'll be shocking. But, like, what is the lowest amount of quality it can 60%. Have to still shock you when it comes out?
60%.
Like, will it shock you if it averages?
It
60%?
would shock me if it gets 60% or higher, or if it even gets 60%.
I think it'll be very mixed. If it
I'm
gets
thinking it's
like
going to be like a 17%.
Gets higher than 60, I would agree.
The director's not terrible, and Fassbender's good, and he makes. I mean, he's not.
I've seen plenty of good actors in shitty movies.
Yeah, but he's not. He doesn't need to be making shitty movies right now. I agree. And like,
I don't think he's trying to make a shitty movie. I think it's an actor who got an opportunity to make a movie based on a very, very big franchise and was like, yeah, this could be good. And it's one of those situations where an actor signs a contract. They are now locked in. They have to do this. All of a sudden, maybe a screenplay changes. And all of a sudden the new thing goes to shit. They can't do anything about it. They're locked in. Now they're stuck on a shitty movie.
Yeah.
That happens a lot. That other main girl too. She's pretty good too. I forget her name.
Yeah,
Marion. Yeah,
I like her.
She's amazing.
Yeah,
it's got a good cast. It's got I mean, it. Although this is kind of new. Ubisoft this week said something about they don't expect the movie to make money. Like
what?
To make like they said they don't expect it to make back the money they spent on it.
Yeah, of course not. I mean, World of Warcraft.
But they
can
said they're
handle
okay with that. So you
That's
know.
a passion project. All right, next question.
it. It's not a question. This is feedback.
Next feedback.
So this is actually in response to a comment from Tobly. Tobly was just commenting on, we talked about the patron's grandfather who played Mass Effect 2 and 3
Yeah.
like 50 times.
Yeah.
The comment I'm going to read comes from Manovsky Physics. It's also an interesting name. He said, I absolutely love the Mass Effect series and I've replayed those games several times. I also fell in love with The Witcher 3 and even started reading the books after having heard of them being mentioned on this very podcast.
There you go.
However, I'm one of those few people who actually liked Mass Effect 3. Don't get me
son of
wrong,
a
the
bitch.
ending was very disappointing, but I feel that the first 95% of that game was absolutely amazing. Mass Effect 3 really capitalized on all the emotional investment you put into the characters you met in 1 and 2, at first at least. I laughed, I cried, I cheered. The game made me feel. Damn it! And I've always liked it for that reason.
I like
Chris,
this guy.
if you say anything about the multiplayer, you are officially worse than Singularity Nick.
Fuck off, Brad.
Was that what you were gonna say?
No, I wasn't even going to bring
I
up
don't
the
believe you
multiplayer.
for a second. You were
should-
going to bring up the multiplayer.
I wasn't going to bring it up. I was going to say,
How is the multiplayer?
you don't even want me to talk about it. Why should I?
Yeah, that's a trap. Don't fall for
Yeah.
that.
Wait, do you hear that?
Can someone remind me? What?
What?
Can someone remind? So I played Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Most of what I remember about that series is from 2.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
3's not very
And I remember
memorable.
3 having a really disappointing ending.
Yeah.
For the life of me, I can't remember anything that happened leading up to the ending of 3.
So the whole point of 3 was doing your friend's side quest so they don't die.
Killing the Reapers.
That was literally the point of 3.
No, that was the point of half of 2. 3
2?
3 was about getting the
Yeah,
other
2
races to
Oh,
unite
yeah.
and go try to
Yeah,
liberate
2
Earth.
was about doing the
Okay.
mission so you can. And I got
See, I
everyone through
forgot
that
now.
mass relay.
Yeah, me too.
Everyone.
That was 2?
That
No,
was
it's
2.
two.
It's been so long.
Yeah.
2
2 was the suicide mission.
2
Yeah.
is personally my favorite.
2 was
But, like,
great.
3, for whatever reason, like I remember being into that game all the way up until its ending when I was like, okay, that was really anticlimactic. But like, I don't remember the journey.
I
of
would
3.
encourage you.
I couldn't say one way or another whether I really loved 3 or not.
See if did you play with the extended cut DLC for it?
No, I bought the game when it came out.
Okay, go back and try it again with that DLC.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Chris Davis. I don't think I'm gonna go back.
The
and play
game
it.
was good, but I'm
The
not going to play
only
it again.
I'm
good
just saying,
part of
they
Mass
made
Effect
it
3
much-
is the
they made the
Citadel
ending much
DLC.
better.
Citadel, yeah.
The Citadel,
Citadel
DLC
was
is
great.
good.
Citadel was fantastic.
Well, he actually ends this comment here by saying, also the Citadel DLC was amazing, and it's only
There you
recently
go.
that Blood and Wine has dethroned it as my favorite DLC of all time.
Dude, Blood and Wine's fucking amazing.
Blood-
You bitches need to finish that.
Which one am I?
I'm not even
I'm
done
about
with
to
it
play
yet.
Hearts of Stone.
Yeah.
Fuck! I keep forgetting I have that.
Dude.
Just playing both.
I was trying to figure out what to play this weekend. I ended up playing Mirror's Edge. I
You
should have
made
fucking
a-
played Hearts
You
of
made the
Stone.
wrong choice.
God damn it.
Leviathan was okay. Omega was mediocre, and then Citadel was great.
Oh. I didn't know what
Mass
the fuck
Effect
you were
3 was
talking
just a
about.
bunch of Final Fantasy 13 levels.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's wonderful. Next question comes from
Next
93 Spartan 94. It says, "Hey guys, I just wanted to say that I'm a huge fan and followed your show for a while now.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Still haven't had that fight on Dark Souls, Nick. I don't know what he's referring to. I even asked him in the comment what he was referring to. I don't know what you want to fight about, but let's fight. Anyways, quick question: is Brad planning on playing any more Fire Emblem on the stream?
On the stream,
Because I unfortunately missed
Probably not.
any opportunity to see
just still have
any
Nolan's 3DS.
opportunity to
You
see
still
that.
have my 3DS, that's correct.
do have the potential.
Yeah.
If you've listened for a while, you know that I've bounced off that game hard. That I still intend to kind of pick it back up some point this year, probably after I finish
Well,
Persona
just know
4.
that
But
Spartan 94 would love you to see
Did-
you do that
if
with
I
me.
get really into it and addicted to it, you'll probably see me casting it here and there. But we'll have to see.
The Shin Megami Tensei Fire Emblem game hasn't come out yet, right?
No.
Yeah, no, it has. That
It
was
has?
Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Oh, that's
It
it?
did?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what that is?
Oh, man, y'all are out of the loop.
Yeah, I
Yes,
guess so.
yeah.
In
I guess
regards
so.
to that, yes.
Help that they would have marketed it
Tokyo
better at
Mirage
E3.
Sessions Sharp FE. FE stands for Fire Emblem.
I just wanted to.
Also, it's just a Persona game.
So this is just funny because Moom comments. Remember, we had a lovely conversation last week about ice skates.
Oh yeah, I did hear that. It was actually
skating.
roller skates.
Roller skates.
It devolved into ice skates.
Yeah, Moom just said, "Who gets it?" This is a quote from Brad last week. Who gets into roller skating? And then he looks over at newly purchased skates, sweats profusely. I thought that was pretty. that was a great
Why
question.
did you buy skates? Who skates? What do you do with them?
You put them on your
skate?
feet and you skate. By the way, that was a great question last
Like
week.
in the street? Wouldn't that fuck up the wheels?
That was a great question last week, by the way. That was. I actually thought about that for like 2 days after we talked about it. Like
The answer
trying
was
to-
very simple.
Oh, well, you weren't on the show. What was your
It
answer?
wasn't. You fuck your relative.
Yeah.
Who the fuck's gonna wear a roller skate the rest of their lives?
There's their relative. That's terrible.
My thought was just fucking throw a sheet on it and cut a hole in the sheet and go to town.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing a roller skate.
That is fucked.
What I'm saying is like,
Wow.
I mean, you understand. It's just like, it's not even that bad of a time. There's the social taboo, and it's fucking horrifying if you really think about it. But like, it's still not a bad time. It doesn't even have to last that long. A fucking rollerblade your whole life?
Can you ride a roller coaster with a rollerblade on your foot?
You can't do anything with a rollerblade on your foot.
Can you go swimming in the ocean?
You probably couldn't even fuck your relative with a rollerblade on your foot.
You have no traction.
You had to be very drunk.
Oh god. Was there static? Oh, there's not static.
Static. God damn it.
Somebody touched it.
Oh god. Let me see. Oh god. Okay. Minovsky Physics. Did I have a question from Minovsky Physics earlier? I think I did.
Yeah, you did.
He says Crispy mentioned his unease about the proximity of his math
He also
final.
just showed up in chat.
Oh, he did?
Perfect timing.
Crispy mentioned his unease about the proximity of his math final and the release of No Man's Sky. I've recently gone back to university as well, and I've been finding it hard to reconcile my gaming habits with my new workload. Just wanted to wish you good luck on your studies. Oh, sorry, Crispy's not here. But
So fuck him.
we'll pass that along. Resist the temptation and only reward yourself after you are done with finals. It will make all the space exploration all the more rewarding. Well, your recommendation is going to go unheard. Crispy's fucked.
Dude, that's something, if I could go back in time and tell myself in college, I wouldn't tell myself, sorry, I would punch myself in the nuts and say, fucking do your homework and then play games. Because I didn't always do it in that order.
Yeah. We made it out the other side. Fine, right?
C's
right,
get
right.
degrees.
Anyways, next one's from Schwigwam. Because I'm playing Dark Souls 2. He
Yeah.
says, regarding the recurring Dark Souls 1 Dark Souls 2 comparisons, I believe a big distinction between the two in terms of judging their quality is how interesting the enemy encounters and designs are. In Dark Souls, there was a clear emphasis on situational encounters with one of a couple enemies that had interesting properties or designs. While in Dark Souls 2, you can sort of see the design being relegated to the world and how it looks, and then just sort of plopping enemies randomly in your path. As people know, Dark Souls had some interesting variety in its bosses, where Dark Souls 2 had a couple of interesting ideas and an excess of humanoid bosses that sort of didn't excite players like as much. Plus, once you've got that Artorias boss battle, you sort of have to step up your game if you want to do another good human versus human fight. Which is true, because that boss fight in Dark Souls 1 was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I don't know if anyone saw my Dark Souls 2 cast on Saturday. I had the most intense boss fight of my entire life
Against
the fucking army of skeletons. You know what I'm talking about? You walk into a room and it reminded me of the boss fight in Bloodborne where you fight the three hooded guys, but it was a bunch of skeletons. But then they just start throwing just a bunch of actual smaller
They
skeletons.
start
These actual
summoning
pinwheels.
skeletons,
And I
yeah.
went in with with an NPC summon, and he only did like maybe a third of damage or a fourth maybe, and then died. And I was running around with like no Estus flasks left, like freaking the fuck out with like an army of these skeletons.
Nick,
chasing around.
did you know that when you go into boss fights with more than one person, the boss is more difficult?
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, not proportionally so. It's still way harder to fight by yourself typically.
But
I'm
the
just
boss
saying-
itself
I'm
is
just
harder
saying-
to kill.
Yeah, I'm just saying if you go in with someone, NPC, and they
Scales
die
up.
immediately, you made it harder on
Is
yourself.
what happened.
it just the boss, or is it the whole game?
Dude,
I think it's just bosses.
Diablo
I don't
style?
think
It was
it's
so-
the whole game.
it was
Maybe it is the
so-
whole game. I don't know.
I did this boss fight and I won.
Yeah.
I won. I took off like I had to like deplete the last like 3/4 of his health while running away desperately from this like gang of skeletons, and it was the most. My fucking heart was beating out of my chest. Someone better make a highlight of that because that was amazing.
You know, in Diablo 2, it was the same thing where you go into a game with another person, everything in the world would get harder. So, like, you would want to actually kill bosses over and over again in an 8-man game.
That way, when you go
that way,
yours,
because he would drop better shit because he would be like a level 8 version of that boss. So I would go into other people's games of like rooms that were almost full, then go kill the bosses alone to get like the better drops without the other people, so they couldn't steal the shit.
This fucking guy.
Well, I would say that your elevator highlight was pretty dang good there, Nick.
Which? Oh, you mean the one? Wait, from last week?
Yeah, the I'm out bitches.
Yeah.
He doesn't even watch his own clips.
This fucking guy.
Yeah, I don't watch clips except for. Well, shut up, guys. We're moving on. Who? We've been playing some stuff.
Yes.
Hey, Nolan.
What's up?
Let's talk about
Have
Fury.
you been playing one of these games up here?
Wait, we're talking about Fury?
Yeah.
I just want to hear Nolan's thoughts.
Well,
I
no.
talked-
The thing is, there's several games that y'all talked about last week that I played that I didn't get a chance to comment on.
This could be Nolan's feedback, if you will.
Because
Yeah.
I played the first. I finished the second boss in Fury.
Did you hear
Last
Chai
week.
Tai beat the whole game without dying once?
Go fuck yourself, Chuck.
He kept typing that into chat, talking to no one, but he really wanted people to know, so I'm going to let y'all know now. Chai Tai beat that whole game without dying once. He was in chat saying, talking to no one, I'm going to see if I could beat the whole game without dying on hard now. We get it, chat. We get it.
Oh God, that. Okay, let's talk about Fury.
So yeah.
That game's pretty cool.
Yeah. I didn't know what to expect because I was listening to the podcast last week and y'all were saying how blah blah blah. I had beaten the jailer on my first try, and I was like, I hope the rest of the game isn't this easy.
Oh God, I spent an hour on the fucking jailer.
The second boss gave me some trouble.
I beat the second boss faster than I beat the jailer.
See, that's the thing.
But I think that's literally because I actually learned a lot about the combat and the structure of the boss fights from that first fight.
And it also might have been because I had fought the jailer and then went like a week without playing the game and then started the second boss. I don't know.
But also, like the arenas themselves
are all
almost,
different.
Like they're all different.
No,
They all
yeah,
add-
I'm on the fifth boss now.
yeah.
And it sucks because I was actually really excited to fight him, but then I was switching games because I wanted to play a different game. And also during my cast. But yeah, no. So I've beaten the
Wait,
first
did you do
4.
all 5 bosses during the first half of your cast?
No, I did bosses 2, 3, and 4 because I'd already beaten the jailer. So I did boss
Fuck
2,
you, Nolan.
2, 3, and
Fuck
4.
you, Nolan. I like this is literally a game I play for like an hour, and I say I'm gonna sit down and beat one boss, and then I know I won't be able to take any more at the time, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to take a break.
The game is quite easy. Did you not hear that Chai Tai beat the whole thing without dying? It can't be that difficult.
So yeah,
fucking
no,
brutal.
No, it definitely wasn't easy. I don't think. I don't know if there was any boss I beat on my first try.
Other than the jailer.
The jailer. Maybe. No. Oh, yeah. The third one took me 2 tries.
That third boss is a fucking doozy.
It's fun.
I've only fought him once so
It's
far.
fun.
It's fun. Like, but it's a completely like. What I'm really impressed by the most so far is just the variety of the bosses, because the third boss is just nuts.
Yeah,
and,
the
like I
fourth
started,
one,
I was like,
dude, the fourth one's good too. There's gonna be a lot of cosplays of the fourth one. I think the fourth one.
it's a lady.
No, it's a guy.
Oh,
Dude, I was talking about it
you
last
said it with
night.
a smile on your face, so I thought that might be a lady.
No, I just thought it's a cool outfit. No, I was smiling because I was thinking of the second boss, and like if ladies do cosplays of her, are they gonna like be on a Segway?
Oh,
Because
yeah,
like the first form of the boss, she's on like almost like a Segway.
yeah.
That'd be interesting. Anyway, so I'm on the 5th boss. I the only thing I did when I fought him was I perfect countered a bunch of his moves and like knocked him on his ass, and then I stopped playing because I was like, I'm done. I beat him. But that's one of the things I really like about the game is countering is so different between each boss because the timing is very different, and you really have to focus on paying
Yeah,
attention.
Getting good at a certain skill in one boss fight doesn't necessarily guarantee you're going to be good at it the next fight.
And I don't want to say every boss, at least the second one had a couple of quirks. the third one didn't really seem to. I don't know. I like it. I think there's enough variety. The in between bosses is interesting. You know, there's an auto walk button, right?
Auto.
There's an auto walk. If you just
You mean,
press
oh,
A,
you mean between the sequences?
if you just press A, he'll go the whole way.
Oh, see, I thought that just triggered after a certain. Oh,
No,
okay.
if you just press A or
I'm gonna do
X
that
or whatever.
because that's shit's annoying.
Yeah, because it's very cinematic. There's shit tons of camera angles. It's constantly changing, which
and
makes
you're
it
literally
nice
just watching
to
him walk
watch.
from one point to the
Yeah.
one fight to the next.
Yeah, I figured out after not too long that just pressing A, he'll just auto walk to his
Well, that's
destination,
good
which
to
is
know.
nice.
Fuck it. Walking between 2 and 3 was a pain in the ass.
Yeah. But yeah, so I like all that stuff. It's the exposition is weird, but it's so weird, but so it's almost there, but not quite there that I really want to know more.
It's a little sweary.
Yeah, a little. Yeah,
So are you playing
sweary.
it too?
I'm looking forward to it. but I haven't
Sweary is a
gotten to
good definition.
Oh yeah, 'cause this is Chris Davis is the one that spotted this at the mix. I forgot you. Did you play
Yeah,
with him?
Yeah.
it was right by the front door, and I had walked past it because I was trying to get deep into the mix.
Yeah.
And then as I was leaving, I was like, "Ooh, what is this?" I couldn't read the title
It
of
was
it. I
kind
was
of
like,
an unfortunate spot.
Fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fear. The font is weird. But I watched it a little bit before we left. I didn't get a chance to play it. But yeah. So yeah, the exposition is weird. This rabbit character is really fucking interesting.
Very Donnie Darko-esque, like
Yeah,
the way this
yeah.
rabbit.
And the
character's
fifth
like.
boss is like, I want to know more. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm ready to play more.
Cool. Well, I think there's like 10 bosses or something.
Yes, 10. So I'm almost halfway done.
Well, that's cool.
Yep.
Um,
I also wanted to briefly mention because 2 weeks ago we talked about Inside.
oh yeah.
Brad, did you?
We
end up
talked a little bit
playing it?
last week too, because that's by
Did
last
you
week.
finish it? Did you play it, Chris Davis?
No.
Why would you?
What are you playing?
Okay.
Well, we're gonna talk about them.
Fucking Brad just like
say the
it.
division.
Just say it. Chris
I've been
Day-
playing more than that.
More than that.
But he's been playing.
Definitely that. So Inside,
This is spoiler free.
yeah, no, it's completely spoiler free. I liked it. I definitely enjoyed it. It was one of those situations where it's not. I don't want to say graphic, but it reminded me of how not nice and friendly Limbo was. I guess I had forgotten, but then as I started
dude.
playing this game, I started remembering.
I don't know what it is.
like,
I don't know what it is about Play Dead, but they really have a hard on for like brutally, like just. It's fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
There's- You play as a child in both these games,
Yeah.
and both of them you suffer like horrible deaths
Yeah.
over and over again.
And
you wouldn't even like this game doesn't go out of its way to like shove that in your face. In fact, I didn't even realize there were those kinds of deaths until like
oh yeah,
maybe 30 minutes in, and I had my first like fuck up, and I was like, oh, this game it's like that.
I forgot. Yeah. Well, the thing is, Limbo was black and white and silhouettes. This is not.
Yeah.
But I really would enjoy doing a spoiler cast for this because there's a lot of stuff that like took me by surprise and almost made me kind of giddy.
Yeah.
Like when certain things happened, and I really
Dude, I
liked the last.
I could
like,
talk about the
40
the
minutes
last
of the
40
game.
minutes of the game.
Yeah.
I just want to talk. Oh man.
I agree. So anyway, I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I played it. I'm glad not a single thing was spoiled for me. I avoided all spoilers when you and Crispy talked about it. I didn't hear a single thing, and I'm glad I didn't.
Dude, even after talking about it, that ending
Yeah.
took me by complete
Yeah.
surprise.
So I'm.
It's cool. It's fucking
I'm really
cool.
glad I played it. I'm curious. I would say
We are
with the
giving away a
spoiler
copy of
cast,
Inside this month.
then. Yeah. we
So
are.
if you want to know more about that, 4playernetwork.com/giveaways. Hey, Brad,
Yes.
did you capture footage of what is it? Dog's life?
No,
Why didn't you? Do we have any footage this week?
There's they
I
have
think you
footage
just
of
said that
those two
because you read
games.
it up there, but I'm not actually talking about Dog's Life. What I do suggest is you go to youtube.com/4Player podcast. There's about like a 7-minute video that went up today. That kind of encapsulates all of what it is like to live the life of a
I
dog.
watched it.
How much did it cost to get hide on the cover of that?
There was actually two. There was a highlight that went up yesterday too. I think.
A couple of days ago,
Oh yeah.
How much did it cost you to get hide in the cover of that box?
They paid Brad.
You know, the game is actually like was like this weird little hidden gem from back in the day, and I've always kind of wanted it.
I think I remember hearing about it. Yeah.
But you know, it was always kind of hard to find or a little rare, or just never very cheap. You know, never one of those like $2 games, or you know, at a GameStop or anything. It's actually developed by Frontier, which is the guys that like made Elite,
Yeah.
and the the new Elite.
Wait,
and-
Elite Dangerous?
Yeah, Elite Dangerous. They also do the what is it? The Roller Coaster Tycoon games.
Wait, what? Really?
Yes. They made A Dog's Life.
I don't even know what this game is, but now
This-
Hey, man,
It's a dog's life.
This Dog's Life game, like I'm saying, it was not like
I mean,
shovelware.
It's not
Like
the first thing you've ever like.
you can eat
Fucking the
duties.
guys who made Serious Sam
could-
made the Talos Principle. Like,
Yeah, you can chew on duties.
Chooty
What, really?
duty.
Yeah, you can chew on duties.
Yeah. You can
like,
bark with a duty in
like
your mouth.
duties from a butt.
Yeah.
You from your own
From
butt,
your own
and then
butt.
you can chew on them. You need to watch this clip, Nick.
I'm sorry,
it just makes me think of,
just gagged a little
Ark
bit.
Survival Evolved, because your character will poop in that, and if you eat the poop, your character commits suicide.
What? You
What?
eat the poo poo?
What is the leap in logic from that?
Because you eat the poo poo.
You eat the poo poo.
And then just
I mean, you might get some bacteria,
And then some of
you
them
know.
take the fist and they.
well, I thought you were saying like he eats the poo poo and then just he's like my life is over, I'm done, and kills himself.
Yeah.
No, they just keel over
Or
and
they
die
just
as soon
die.
as you eat
They-
it.
okay,
Yeah.
so they don't kill themselves,
Anal
they die.
leaking.
God damn it, Brad! Don't. All right, Chris Davis. Since you know which games we have footage for, I'm gonna let you pick the next game we talk about.
We have two of my games, but I think we should start with Nolan's game.
Well, let's fucking book
Just
yours.
someone talk
Okay,
about
well-
something with footage, for the
Okay,
love of God. Give me something to look at.
You look at us.
So I've been playing a bunch of games actually, and
That
only one of
are
them is a
not
Clancy
the
game.
Division.
Yeah, not just the Division.
You're a fucking addict, man. I know, okay? You've not been playing shit, real shit.
I've also been
Listen, I've lived this life, man. You play random little weird games to make yourself feel better and let other people think that you're not some fucking weirdo. Listen, I've been there with Diablo and my mud. I understand. You're lying to us by acting like you care about these other fucking
I think
games.
it's- by the way, I think it's Chris Davis's mic that's crackling.
I didn't touch it at all.
Well, then just reseat it.
Okay.
Reseat it and.
Remember when we
but-
got this new mixer and we thought everything was gonna be a-okay?
Well, I said at the beginning we might have to replace more than just two mics. I just bought two new mics for the heck of it.
That might do it.
Okay, cool.
That should do it. Hopefully,
I think it might be
buy
the
new
cables.
might be
Yeah,
the cable.
That's probably
Yeah.
smarter.
We'll but
You
do
know where
one of
some
those
of
two for the next show. Anyways,
Yeah.
sorry. You've been playing.
So I've been playing the Division. I've been playing.
God, you couldn't help yourself. You had.
I
to
was
squeeze
going
that in
to.
there.
I'm listing off the games I played.
In my
okay?
mind, you're like the only person playing
I've
that
played-
game.
I
Just running
played a-
around these cities alone.
I played a game of Civ 5.
A game.
A
I
game.
played.
A game.
And then I was like, "Fuck! This isn't the division. I'm going."
You
back.
haven't played. You don't know Civ, man.
Well, yeah,
you don't know.
A Civ game isn't like
Yeah.
2 minutes.
I started broadcasting it, and then I stopped at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
on Saturday.
Did you start at 4 a.m.?
No, I started at like 11
Oh, okay.
p.m.
That makes more sense.
And I also started playing the remaster of Resident Evil 0.
I started playing that too, and then it just—I don't know why. Like I remember
It
loving that
doesn't
game.
have the appeal of the original remake.
Zero sucks.
No, it doesn't. Like I played Zero back in the day. There's certain things about that game I really love. In fact,
Yeah, the
but, like,
graphics.
But no, like I remember that game. When I think back, the game has kind of a slow start because it takes place in that train, which is a pretty like limited area. But like everything I remember liking about the game pretty much comes after you get off that train.
Yeah.
And it takes a while to get to that point to
And
get off the train.
Thanks to the variety of costumes they added in post-release, I've added some mods to the game. In addition to removing the loading barriers with the doors, because they're on a hard drive, they load really, really fast. I've got Billy's dressed up as a character from Yakuza.
What?
And I rotate Rebecca between like a half Jill hybrid, a Claire Redfield model, and Sailor Jupiter. So,
What? What the fuck?
There's
She's
an
dressed up
active
as
body
someone
community.
in a Yakuza, not...
yeah, the guy with the black coat, the sunglasses,
Okay.
and the red shirt.
This is like a character from the game Yakuza.
Yeah.
But Resident Evil is Capcom and Yakuza Sega. Are you
It's
sure
a mod. It's a mod. People
it's a
make
mod?
these.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Curious then.
that's been
You
kind
went
of cool.
Yakuza, Claire Redfield. What you say, Claire
Claire Redfield.
and Sailor Jupiter.
Yeah, and a Rebecca Jill hybrid.
Sailor, you out of all
Hey,
you pick
Chris
Jupiter?
Davis, for the love of God, what have you been playing that has footage?
Well, the two games I'd like to talk about tonight. The first one has been kind of the love of my life for the past week and a half.
Hopefully, it's the one with the two manly men.
No,
It's not.
that's
Nolan's.
Nolan.
That's mine.
Oh.
It is a game that's it's a visual novel. Actually, it's interesting.
It's a visual
called,
novel, which means we're going to be watched. It's good because it's visual.
It's called Cyberpunk Bartender Action Valhalla.
Oh God, I'm scared about this.
This is a
not
delightful
Valhalla,
game.
That's VA11 Hall A.
Yeah, but that's the designation.
That's
the
how they
designation for
spell
the
it,
location of the
okay?
bar.
A
But they
visual
call it
novel.
Valhalla because why not?
Because that's not what it says.
I mean,
All right, roll the footage. God damn it!
okay. You play as Jill. She's a bartender, and pretty much all you do is you have conversations with people, and then you serve them drinks.
Can you squeeze women's
Is this made by the same guy who did like Papers, Please, or something?
No,
'Cause
no,
it
this
looks
is
very
No,
entirely
but
Papers.
Chris Davis is obsessed with any game that remotely resembles Papers, Please.
Can you sniff customers?
Oh no,
No, but
you cannot.
there is some.
You're
weird-
basically you are sitting behind a bar. Most of the game,
Bartender should stand,
and
not sit.
well, whatever. And people order drinks. You have conversations, and you make drinks for them. And that's most of the game.
Okay.
But the conversations that you get are really good. The writing is really well done.
I
There's no
assume it's
voice
not
acting.
voiced. Oh,
There's no voice acting. I mean,
Was
if
there
you can
voice
get past
acting
that,
in
it's good. It's
Papers,
good.
Please?
But the humor is particularly good. Like they're about to introduce a new character in the scene. This is day 7. I think the game is about 30 days long total.
Like
And
Papers, Please, kind of.
you tend to get like 1 or 2 new characters every other day. And we're about to be introduced to Rad Sheba. This is a cyberpunk post-dystopian world set in 2060X. And
2060X.
I hate when people put an X on just the last one. Like it could be any of 10 years.
and it's a Shiba with sunglasses and a Hawaiian shirt.
A
And
Shiba,
he's
like
called Rad
Oh,
Shiba.
the dog.
Yeah,
Shiba.
like a Shiba
Yes,
in
that's your new part-time employee that's just going to be around the bar for however long he's there.
One of those
This looks
games.
like something I'd play on my Vita.
But the humor is pretty entertaining. But there's some interesting systems.
When
in
did this
game.
come out? This year?
It came out 2 weeks ago, I think.
Okay.
So you're making these drinks. You've got like a guide for what drinks to make, and you have people who just place orders for what they want.
it's diner day.
Sometimes they'll be pretty straightforward with what they want. Like they'll say he's going to order a Grizzly Temple. It's like a Shirley Temple, but cyberpunk post-dystopian, whatever. You get the guide and you add the ingredients, you mix it up, and then you serve it.
Did you make that up, or is there actually a Grizzly Temple?
Yes, he's about to order it in just a second.
That doesn't make any sense.
The Shiba orders it?
The Shiba orders it.
The Shiba's an
The Shiba
employee.
talks.
Why is the Shiba drinking on the job?
The Shiba is it's learning. I don't know.
Sheba gets what Sheba wants. Okay.
Yeah, just
God damn it.
yeah.
Mecha Shiba.
But they've added some mechanics into making the drinks to where that's part of a decision system that's built within the game.
Okay.
So your characters will order certain drinks, and you can entirely fuck them up. See, here's the guide for. There's the Grizzly Temple.
Oh, so it gives you the
Gives you
the
the
recipe.
ingredients that you're supposed to add.
$200.
Well,
It's just-
it's the future.
This is the future, Noah. It's the
Yeah.
future. Every time you have a question about this game, just remember it's the future.
Cyberpunk,
Cyberpunk.
post-dystopian,
There's
whatever.
a dog who drinks on the job. It happens.
Yeah, click it, you serve it, and they drink it, and then they comment on it. And
So if you make it bad, the
if you make it
comments
bad,
will change.
you won't get as well good in tips. You won't get the flawless service bonus every day, and things may change with your interaction with this character. We're gonna talk to a character in a minute. Her name is Say. She's a white knight. She's the white knights serve as kind of rescuers and like police for this city. City's called Glitch City, by the way.
Of course it is.
Yeah, because
White Knights, they really
But,
serve feminists.
She.
Dirty feminists.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm kidding.
Wow. So you
help
interact
yourself.
with her a bunch of times throughout the game. She really kind of grows on you. And she disappears for a few days, and she suddenly comes back, and she's covered in bandages, and she's got this whole backstory as to what happened to her.
Oh.
Well, she'll
Is this about to be a spoiler?
not really. No, it's no. It's
This is riveting footage, too. first footage of the night, and it's
a Sheba with glasses, man. Come on.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean, but yeah, it's a little like watching Papers, Please, which is kind of like watching paint dry.
broadcast this game?
I tried. Now I decided it wasn't broadcast friendly.
No.
So that's why I've been playing offline.
Unless you do a lot
But
of
the,
voices.
the point I'm trying to get at is that sometimes there will be these decision moments that are completely invisible that you have to kind of figure out on your own. For example, the character that we're going to be introduced to in a second, she's currently on some painkillers because she just got out of the hospital. And so her senses are kind of dialed up and everything kind of hurts more. Okay.
Wait, painkillers making her hurt more?
Well, it's enhancing her senses, so she tastes things
Future.
much stronger.
Future.
Okay.
Cyberpunk.
Taste
Whatever. So she'll initially order a sweet drink. I could choose any one of them. I could serve it to her. Okay. And then we'll get into a conversation, and she kind of panics for a second, and she orders just another drink at random, called a Bleeding Jane, and it's a spicy drink. She orders it. You can choose to serve it to her, and if you do that, as it'll show in the footage, she'll leave. She will actually just go out. But if you serve her something entirely different that she doesn't want you to serve her, she'll actually stay, and you have a whole conversation with her, and you learn more about her backstory.
Do you have a
what's
whole
happened to her.
conversation with her because she's upset because you served her the wrong thing?
No, you learn exactly what happened to her in the past few days because you're grilling her on trying to find out what happened to her.
I grill her.
No, Brad.
It looks like she's already been grilled.
Yeah, in the eye.
But
Yeah.
the
Well, that's the best place.
it's really interesting. You'll have some characters that'll come in just to fuck with you. Like there's this one guy.
What is going
I
on
forget
the
his
TV
name.
in the background, by the way?
You can actually
that-
change the TV.
That looks like
looks
it
like
has
the Great
the Great
Saiyaman.
Saiyaman.
It looks
Yeah,
like the
pretty
Great
much.
Saiyaman.
What is happening?
I don't know. It's
What is
Cyberpunk.
with, how come
future.
every visual novel has a girl with a fucking medical eye patch?
Well, she didn't have an eye patch before.
It makes it
She got
easier
hurt.
to
No, but
sneak
like-
around her back.
Oh no, it's a trope.
It's a
You have
trope.
to realize this
Is
is
it pink eye?
the URL for
Pink
the
brown
website
eye.
for this video game is waifubartending.com. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You should have opened with that.
Well, no wonder you're playing.
That
it.
No,
paints
but
a
I'm liking
very
all these
clear-
characters.
That
But-
paints a much clearer picture of what this
There-
game actually.
There'll be characters that try to fuck with you. Like there was a guy that came in and you ask what he wants and he says 17.
Oh.
17 what? And you have to go
the heck
through
was
all
that?
your list, and it turns out you have to serve him a drink that has exactly 17 ingredients.
17 pieces of poop is what I would serve him.
Yeah, but it actually has interesting, challenging
So
puzzles.
this is what's been keeping you up
Yeah.
when you're not playing the Division.
Yeah, and then there's just some really good characters in here. Like there is a
they're all
character
waifus.
named Dorothy. She is a Lilum, which is basically an android, but she's a sex robot, and
A sex bot.
she's
Everybody
a sex
back-
bot.
Whoa.
But she's so fucking funny.
I thought you were going to
Because
say
she's
hot.
so outspoken about everything she talks about.
Well, 'cause she's a
like
sex
the picture I showed you the other day during the dinner
Oh yeah.
time.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Wait. That little.
If you
Yeah,
like
that was
yourself,
her.
That was her?
why
Yeah,
don't
that was
you-
her talking.
Why don't
That-
you waifu her?
Okay.
And she was
This game teeter totters on some weird lines.
yeah, no, it does, but it is
I
the writing
distinctly
is
remember
really
seeing that
well
screenshot
done.
and thinking that girl looks like she's 15.
Actually, she's
Oh, that's another
she's
trope.
not 15.
She's 1,000
she's
years old,
built
right?
to appear between 10 and 13.
It's
Oh
another
my
anime
God.
but she
trope.
has the mental attitude of a 24-year-old technically.
Oh, okay. She's.
But she tells you these stories.
Her
and-
heart is the heart of a 30-year-old. We belong together.
We're gonna get married
Age is
someday.
just a number.
Remember, she's an android.
Did you say
she's
eight
not
is
human.
just a number?
Age.
Oh.
But no, she's hilarious.
Another
That's-
fucking anime trope.
But dude, this game is very entertaining.
It's what,
Eight's the new 21.
God damn it! All right, and with that note, I think we're gonna move on to the next game. This
Okay.
is an interesting choice, Chris Davis. You really went from the Division to Valhalla.
I think it's a really good game. I really encourage.
Sure,
it's just $15, and the music is outstanding.
Is it? Is the music? What's the word I'm looking for?
Chiptunes?
No, I was gonna say. What's the word I'm looking for? Where it's
Chip
like
tunes.
Chip
That was
and
definitely
Dales?
it.
no, like
Chip-
Blood
MIDI?
Dragon. What's that? What's
good.
Oh, well, I mean, that is good music. Yes. Blood Dragon had an excellent soundtrack.
Retro synth,
Yeah,
whatever.
it's a lot of synth stuff.
Well,
There's
they're
some synths,
Androids,
but
so
yeah,
I'd
it's very
assume some are synths.
It's very chip tunes and stuff like that. It's very good. I really like it.
Cyberpunk bartending action Valhalla.
Yep, it is a very fun game.
I quickly wanted to talk about a couple games I don't have footage for, just because I don't want to talk about them for too long. Very briefly.
The people want to see the footage, Nolan.
I was watching our lovely caster from over the pond, George, playing some Stardew Valley. And I was very frustrated at his inefficiency. So I booted up my game of Stardew Valley.
It kind of sounds like experiencing POCOP's Resident Evil 4 organizational skills through Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. So, because I saw him, and he was on fucking like Summer of Year 2, and he had
Sorry,
like $9,000. And I boot up my game Summer of Year 2, and I have like 250,000. But yeah, no. So I played a big chunk of Stardew Valley. I got married in the game finally, and whatever. And just because I hadn't finished the game, I technically haven't finished it.
I feel like that game kind of just.
No, there's an end. Well, there's like when you complete the community center, like that's what I didn't do. There's X amount of tasks. They're like complete these tasks.
I was gonna say, like, I remember Brad being like obsessed with this game, and then suddenly he just stopped talking about it. What happened, Brad?
He stopped playing it so much with Malia. They got busy off schedules, and they were playing it together.
Yeah. We were playing it in mornings. Now we don't really have those mornings.
Yeah. But anyway, so I picked it back up a little bit, and I was just I was trying to get to that goal. I only had, I think the next season, I'm only missing one item, and then I will be able to complete the game. But I don't know, it's still just as fucking addictive. Like, and that's kind of why
every time I see like any kind of like promo image or whatever, or a screenshot of that game, I'm just like, maybe I should play that. Just, it looks so inviting.
Oh, it is. It's very. The music is fucking great.
Game.
It's cheery and like it's good. The other game I wanted to talk about, and I don't have footage for because footage would be hard. Is Pokemon Go.
Oh yeah.
Because I've been playing that.
That is worth talking. We should have opened this trash heap of a podcast with Pokemon Go, man. That's the shit everyone's playing and talking about.
Literally everyone is playing it.
The guy who came by my house today to fix my AC started talking to me about Pokemon Go, and that's when I knew.
Like Bernadette posted something on Facebook about me and her playing the game, and then like her 6-year-old aunt commented. She's like, "Oh, I'm loving the game too." What the fuck? And then like I was talking about it when my mom was in town, and my mom was like, "Oh, I've been meaning to download that." And I'm like, "Oh my god."
Emily is fucking obsessed with it now. She goes on walks at night now, so she can go catch Pokemon.
Dude, the other day at 1 a.m, Bernadette got home from work kind of late, and I pulled it up, and there was a Scyther on the street behind us, and so we walked to the street behind us to catch a Scyther at like 1 a.m.
That one? Scyther.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude,
I bet the police have been getting a lot of calls.
We passed the cop. The best part was, and I wish I would have, because you can do the augmented reality, and the phone will show a camera of the Pokemon in like the real world.
Yeah.
As we were walking to get that Scyther, Burnett was like, "Look at that cat crossing the street," and I was like, "That's a possum." And there was just like a big old fucking huge possum crossing the street, and I really wish there would have been a Pokemon around so I could have gotten it in the shot with the possum.
Fucking possums never showing up where you want them to.
But no, so it's the addictive thing about this game is you want to catch them all, but you can't just do it in bed. You have to fucking get up and go out and find them. And like you can't just find all of them in your backyard. You have to go to different places and go on trip. Like you have to.
What did the Pokemon do?
How do you mean? What do they do? So when you capture a Pokemon, you have it now, and you can do multiple things with it. You can evolve it if you have enough candy, and every time you capture a Pokemon, you get 3 candy of that type. And if you transfer it to the professor, you get 1 candy of that type.
Okay.
And so you can evolve it, you can power it up, and then you can use it to fight at gyms. So there are gyms that have been established all around, and you can battle the enemy. So there's 3 different factions in this game. There's Team Instinct, Team Mystic, and Team Valor. Go Team Valor.
Fucking nerds.
And so
Venture.
Oh yeah, that's my shirt. Shut the fuck up. The Valor with a V, like Venture.
Yeah.
And so if you go to an opposing team's gym, there will be X amount of gym leaders. It depends on the level of the gym. And if you were able to defeat them all, you can now take that gym for your team.
Okay, how do you defeat them?
So it's a one-on-one battle in between Pokemon. It's like a watered-down version of Pokemon. So instead of Pokemon having 4 attacks, they have usually 2. Like a basic one, and when you tap on the screen, it'll use that attack. And then it has another attack that it takes more power, and there's like a meter that builds up. And once that builds up, you hold that, and it'll do the more powerful attack. So you have 2 attacks, and then you can also dodge left and right. If you get the timing right, you can dodge incoming attacks. So if you're able to take down all of the leaders of the gym, you've captured that gym for your team. Other people who are in your team can actually put their Pokemon in the gym as well to become gym leaders to help you defend the gym. The longer you defend a gym, you get like I think experience for yourself, and you get coins that you can use to purchase items, like more Pokeballs and stuff like that. And you can also, if you go to a gym that does belong to your team, you can do like training at that gym, fighting it, and the farther you get in the problem with that is you only get 1 Pokemon to fight against. If you're fighting an enemy team, you can take 6 Pokemon with you, which makes it easier. But the point of fighting your own team's gym isn't to defeat them. It's to just do training there, which will boost up the level of that gym, making it more powerful. And once it gets to a higher level, you can throw in a new person's Pokemon to make it even more difficult to defeat. So you want to hold gyms to like make them yours. I don't know, kind of like that. And that's what you do in terms of what you can do with your Pokemon. You know, battling and doing that. What's your question, Chris?
So, you conquer a gym.
Correct.
Does the enemy team, the Pokemon they'd left to defend the gym,
it goes back
do they
to
lose
them.
that? Okay,
No, it goes back to
they
them.
just keep it.
The
Okay.
best part is though, is you can see when someone's trying to take down a gym, because the gym will have like fighting like going on top. Like when you look at the map, you'll see like, so like I captured a gym. There's a gym near my work today, and I captured it. And like as I was walking away, I had gotten kind of far away, and I looked at the thing, and I saw someone, and I turned around, and there was a guy sitting under it, clearly fighting the gym. And I was like, "You son of a bitch!"
Dude, see that right there is by far the coolest fucking thing about
Dude,
this
that's
game
the
to
thing
me.
in this, like, so many people interacting with each other out in the world. So many people like, oh, I see you're playing Pokemon, and like interacting
Dude,
with each
I
other
swear to
and
God, I
like
was
making
leaving
friends.
I was leaving work yesterday, still in my building, walking down the stairwell, and I saw 3 people clearly looking for Pokemon.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, I don't think they work in my building. I think they just wandered in off the street, and they're like, "There's a Pokemon in that building,
Dude,
let's go."
there's a gym in the middle of the Pentagon. So
course there
you
is.
you can't just walk
In the courtyard?
Yeah, I guess so. You can't. Well, I mean, it's all like fucking digital. You can't to battle at a gym. You have to be within like 15 feet of it. So you got to get pretty close to them.
No one's gonna be able to get to that.
Well, I mean, the people who people
people
who
that
work in the
work-
Pentagon are
work the
playing
Pentagon.
Pokemon
There's a
Go.
lot of
No, you
like
can take it. You can take a
complaints.
tour and actually go through the courtyard.
Oh, really?
There's
Yeah,
like
they're getting
messages
tours.
like police stations and Holocaust museums and stuff that are like, please
People
stop
were going to
coming here
Auschwitz
to play
and-
Pokemon
So,
Go.
so that's the thing
you
is,
fucking
I guess
assholes.
via the, I don't know, via the ingress or however they do it, I don't know if they're randomly generated. I don't know. Apparently, Prince of the Universe is saying you can now request new gyms and Pokestops. I don't know how that process works. Yeah, so there's a lot of different locations. Like there's a water tower near my house, and it's a Pokestop. The thing is, there's no way to get to it. Like it's in the middle of a field that has snakes in it. And so you have to be within like, I don't know, 15 feet to actually interact with it. But the other day when I was driving home, I saw a truck parked at the end of the road and a guy like walking to the water tower to fucking get to the Pokestop. Because like I was telling this to Brad
He
before the
didn't
show. Yeah. They start you out with a bunch of Pokeballs. But throwing them at Pokemon, you can miss and you can like, run out of balls. The problem is you can either pay real world money to get more, or if you go to a Pokestop, you can get like a few. Like every Pokestop you go to will generally give you 2 to 3 Pokeballs. The thing is, I live in a place where there's no fucking Pokestops. There's like none.
You're not gonna spend real money, are you?
No, I did a little bit, but that's because I have like $40 in Google Play credit that just sits there.
Well, I thought Pokestops were and gyms were supposed to be set up at locations that were really social oriented, like
They are, but I
restaurants
live in
and
the
stuff.
fucking middle of nowhere.
Well, yeah,
that-
but you've got some places around.
There's like 2 Pokestops near me.
Is that IKEA, not a Pokestop?
There's one in that parking lot. But that's what I'm saying. Okay, so yes, I go to that one, and then I have 3 balls? That's enough to capture maybe
How many balls do you have?
max 3 Pokemon.
Hey, I've captured all kinds of stuff with just 2 balls. You know what I'm saying?
8's the new 21.
Wow.
And so
Oh my god.
Is that going to be the title of the podcast?
maybe.
The new 21 show?
But the thing is, the other day on my lunch break, I was like, Bernadette, do you want to drive up to Georgetown? Because there's like 21 Pokestops within like a
Christ.
4-block radius. And that's what we did on my lunch
Oh
break was we
my
drove up. What?
Dude, Emily texts me like multiple times a day just talking about like, oh, I caught this, I caught that. I'm going on a walk to catch more Poke. Like,
Hey, first of all, hold on. Going to Georgetown, I got 121 Pokeballs out of that.
it
going
was
to
worth the
Georgetown.
exercise.
And so that the thing is, people are bitching about this. Blah, 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 blah. How many millions of people played Candy Crush, shitting on their ass, just like, Candy Crush, Candy Crush. But then this fucking game's getting people out of the house, walking around, meeting new people. Like, I understand that this is just a reskin of Ingress, and it's honestly not the most in-depth thing in the world, but people are enjoying it, and it's getting people moving, and like, it's doing, like, fucking, there's now an Austin fucking Pokemon Go group, and they've gotten together, and a guy created a Google Maps application that people go in and they mark locations of Pokestops and where they've caught Pokemon to help other people out so they can know. Apparently, Auditorium Shores is a fucking Charmander gold mine. Apparently, there's like 30 Charmanders at Auditorium Shores. And like, it's just kind of like, it's just getting people out and going. And I think it's going to be a situation where this game is going to be huge for like 6 months and then just slowly start to die
No, but
off.
they're doing it. It's gonna bleed into the release of what is it? What is the next Sun and Moon?
Sun and Moon,
Sun and
yeah.
Moon, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna
And
bleed into that.
The thing
Pokemon
is,
S&M.
it's also not complete. There's
God.
no
Yeah.
trading of Pokemon yet. That's something they said was going to be in the game, and I think they're still working
S&M?
on that. Huh?
What?
Anyway, and so I'm sure they're going to add more as time goes on, and hopefully fix their fucking servers.
I'm gonna say this, man. If I was a bum here in Austin, of which there is plenty
Oh yeah.
of transients, man, I would totally make a sign that says like, "Yo, can I get a Psyduck?" or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Because it's so like with it, people,
Yeah, people
give
would
you
be
a ton
like,
of
"Oh,
money.
yeah."
Like, oh, that shit's clever.
No, that's what people are doing. Like, you know, coffee shops. Like, oh, which team is yours? Put the money in there and shit like that. I mean, I don't know. I think it's definitely fun. It's gotten Bernadette excited. Like on Saturday, that's what we're doing. We're going. Apparently, the
Pokemon hunting.
the Capitol is a Pokestop gold mine. They are everywhere at the Capitol.
I wonder if Joel's playing this.
Probably.
I know where you can get a Psyduck.
But that's the thing. I've there's been some stories about people putting up lures to attract people.
I feel
and-
like-
My coworker walked in today. He doesn't play video games. He doesn't know anything. He was just like he used the excuse like my kid was interested in it, so I'm trying it out. It's kind of cool. And he's like I went outside for a walk a minute ago and I found a Pokemon. It's like it's a thing. He like put it in. He's like, oh, that's a Caterpie. He's like, and he looked at me like he was disgusted. Like, I know what they're called. and then he put his
And
Pokemon
that's the
away.
other thing. It does encourage walking, in that you can, from Pokestops, besides Pokeballs and like revives and whatever and potions, you can get eggs, and you have to put an egg in an incubator, and then you have to walk X distance for the egg to hatch. It's either 2 kilometers, 5 kilometers, or 10 kilometers, and you can't like fake it. Like you can't like fucking put it on like a treadmill or something or whatever. Like it uses the GPS as well, so you have to physically be moving around, which is why I tweeted out earlier that traffic is a godsend for hatching Pokemon eggs, because you're going so slow that it registers it as walking, not driving. You have to go like under like 15 miles an hour or something. Dude, I got fucking like 3 kilometers out of one of my eggs from sitting in traffic today.
Why does that sicken you, Biohunter, that I know what a Caterpie is?
Dude, I can name all 151. The original ones, I can fucking
I
name
can
them all.
I think I could
Go.
probably name all 150.
Bull-
No, not happening. Not right now.
I feel like we're only a week and a half or 2 weeks away from just getting these police blotters of people
Well, they've already
breaking
started.
out into fist fights at gyms.
No, that's not gonna happen. That's
You
like,
say that.
dude. They're like, I mean,
But then you see these pictures of like 30 people crowding around gyms, and
I mean, there is gonna be some incidents, and I'm waiting for the first like accidental death.
no, I think it
there's
happened
been car
today.
accidents. Yeah,
So, 2 people walked off a cliff in Sacramento.
Playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
I didn't hear about that.
I don't know if they
Did
died,
they die? Oh,
but
man.
they walked off a cliff.
Hey, here's a question: why couldn't they just like implement real Pokemon into this GPS thing?
What do you mean?
Like real Pokemon?
Like Pokemon don't exist. You know that, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying like an actual fucking quality Pokemon game.
A game. Okay.
Because like the game, like some people are reviewing this game, and this game is not getting good reviews. Like I'm saying, but like Pokemon, they had this like legacy of like pretty simplistic, but like still compelling like combat systems and stuff, and
num-
like
number
and,
one,
like a
I
look.
mean-
Like, well, why didn't they have
like a DS game.
you know, like how come I can walk to the fucking local pool because that's a Pokestop and it's like a gym battle, or like why before I catch a Pokemon why not just do a real Pokemon battle? Like why is it this flinging the
mean-
Pokeballs at the things? Like why? Like I feel
That's
like they
probably
have
because this
potential.
game was outsourced.
Well, no,
Well,
it was
sure.
it was outsourced, yes, but also Brad because it's easy, and anyone can do it.
This
Yeah.
is this
Like-
is essentially a marketing. This
No,
is
but
marketing for the
Pokemon
game.
is easy.
Yeah, you say that, but how many people are going to understand that? Oh, electric is weak to water is weak to electricity, and if I use this move and I have this much PP, as opposed to just being able to fucking throw the ball.
I mean, the combat is very simplistic, but there are certain mechanics behind it that take a bit to understand.
Sure, but like it's still once the zeitgeist is gone, like this thing is just gonna die.
Right.
Like
The reason they made it
It's
so
gonna be
simple,
like it's like Fallout Shelter, dude.
yeah, the reason they made it so
Fallout
simple
Shelter's more of a game.
is that they're making apparently $1.6 million a day. That's why, Brad.
Well, no, I get that it's successful, but I'm saying because the systems aren't very deep, like it's gonna get old and
Yes, it's going to get old quick,
Yeah.
but they've already made all their money.
sure, but there's
Everything
all,
else is just gravy now.
But I don't know. When I heard that Nintendo was going to be like putting their IP on phones, like I don't know if I had like high hopes, but like Miitomo was popular for like a week.
Yeah.
This is a lot more popular than Miitomo, but like it still doesn't seem like something that'll last. You
No,
know,
it's not going to.
like that they've already kind of like suggest or said that they'd be bringing like Fire Emblem and Animal Crossing to mobile phones too. Like this just makes me think that it's going to be kind of disposable cash-ins that are going to make money for they're going to burn bright for a little bit and then it's just kind of fade away.
But if they do it right, in their eyes, they're all going to serve as transitions to people actually picking up.
Sure,
handheld
but
units
remember what happened with like Shadow Complex. Just because you have a successful thing, when you all of a sudden you do something else that's really different and it's like way more successful, you just keep doing that shit because that's what brings in all the money. What I'm saying is like this, like decisions are being made at Nintendo right now that are based on the fact that Pokemon Go blew up more than anything in the world,
I mean, the problem with that, Brad, is that hopefully they understand that this is not a repeatable process.
Hopefully they understand.
I mean, this is Nintendo,
Hopefully
which
being the
thought they
keyword.
could repeat the success of the Wii.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Or the success of Pokemon.
All right, anyway, let's move on. That's
Yeah.
Pokemon Go. I'm definitely going to keep playing it for the time being. But I know, 3
It'll be
years from
interesting.
now, I'm
It'll
not
be
going to
an
be playing
interesting
this.
arc to see how
Yeah.
like, how much
how long it lasts,
how long
how
its
quick.
legs
Yeah.
are.
So the next game I want to talk about, there is footage for. And
Get
that,
hype.
yeah, that's a game I started playing earlier in the week or last week. I can't remember. Crush Your Enemies. It's a new game. I think it came out today. Actually, I think it's or the embargo lifted today or yesterday or something. I don't know. Anyway, it's an RTS with a lot of humor. It's in between like the battles that go on. There's these barbarian characters and they're fairly vulgar for how cartoony it is. But it's they're just trying to take over this area, and so you have a bunch of different troops. You can move them around the battlefield. The battlefield is set in the territories, so you can see in this footage that the orange territory is mine, the green territory is my enemies.
And you're just trying to take back.
In most battles, your goal is to crush your enemies.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yep, which is essentially just defeat all of their units. The thing is, you have a certain structure that creates more units, but that works based on the more units that are in the structure, the faster it creates units. So you almost constantly want to have it full because it's making them faster.
Yeah.
The problem with that is you have to really pay attention, because if it gets too full, it will stop creating more units, and now it's kind of wasting time because it is an RTS, so you're constantly, whatever. But as you can see, the enemies were trying to approach my encampment, but they can't just walk through my territory. They have to take over each spot before they can progress. And so that's part of the strategy is trying.
You say each spot, you mean like each square on the grid?
Each square, you can't just walk over it. If you want to, you can go at an angle in between them, but you can only, once you're in enemy territory, you can't progress until you take over that square, which is once again based on number of units in a group. The larger number of units, up to 50, the faster anything happens. Combat's faster, taking over a unit, destroying a building, whatever. And so every battle has 3 objectives. They're all different. Some of them are, use this type of unit, don't use this type of unit, defeat the enemies in this amount of time, survive this amount of time, whatever. There's one main objective, and 90% of the time it is crush your enemies. And then there are sub-objectives, which you can complete, which get you, like, bonuses. And so this game's intense. It's RTS. It is like shit. Shit is going on. You have to very much be paying attention. And the problem is, this battle's very simple. As you can tell, there's 2 buildings.
Yeah.
That's all that's going on. There are battles where there are like 6, 7, 8 buildings at one time, and you're having to pay attention to everything that's going on. And I often find myself wishing I could just fucking pause the game for a second. Now, you can pause, but when it's paused, there's a big fucking pop-up on the screen that tells you your objectives and stuff.
I think you just crushed your enemies.
I did. And so you can see that I completed all 3 of my objectives. I can't read what they are from this far away.
But did you hear the limitations of their women?
Sure. Racist.
Wait, what?
Conan.
Yeah.
Conan, sir.
Okay. Thank you. This one's a little bit different. The enemies don't have any buildings or anything that they're interacting with. They're just kind of wandering through the world. But the goal, if I recall, in this one was to finish the level in X amount of time. So it's very time-based. I have to be as efficient as possible. I'm wanting to leave. If you can tell, I'm leaving as many troops inside the building that's creating units as I possibly can, so it makes them faster. Yeah, so I mean, it's very much the strategy involved. You get items as well. There's one item that's like a dummy, and you place him on any enemy-controlled piece of land or building, and he will start taking over that land or building. But he's very easily defeated. There are items that will temporarily create a spawn point, so you put it on top of a unit, and it will just make more of that unit.
Yeah.
And then there's an item that it's like an alcohol that buffs up your enemies for X amount of time, or your units. And so there's a lot of different types of units. There's the general just dudes that just punch people. They're mediocre at everything. There's a warrior who's very powerful at hand-to-hand combat. There's an archer who's horrible at hand-to-hand combat. But the good thing about the archer unit is that if there are enemies approaching them, the archers will start shooting at the enemy, and it will pin them in place. So the enemy can't move until the archers run out of arrows. And they run out of arrows depending on the number of units in that group. So if you have a group of 50 archers,
I'm assuming you're making decisions on what kind of units to build.
Yeah, so this particular level doesn't have it, but there are buildings that when you put a unit into that building, it will turn them into that type of unit. So there's a building for archers, there's a building for warriors, there's a building for shield bearers. Shield bearers are pretty cool. They're bad at hand-to-hand combat, but if there's an archer shooting at them, they reflect like 80% of the arrows back.
No, can I ask you some questions?
What's up, Brad?
Well, you're going into quite a bit of detail
Yeah,
here.
I'm just kind of describing.
Are
it.
you are you really liking this?
Yes and no. So some of
That is
my
a non-answer, sir.
it's
How did you hear about this game first?
from Evolve, the PR company.
Oh, okay.
I'm on their mailing list, and they often email me about indie games. And they emailed me about this one, and they were like, "Check this out." And I looked into it, and I was like, "This seems interesting," and so I played it.
The rest is history.
Yep.
And you're not in love with it?
I'm in like with it.
That's not a thing.
We're at odds at the moment. So the problem is, there's this one mission I was doing the other day, and the big hitch with that one was two things. Only use this type of unit, and don't have any more than 20 units in a group. And that was fucking me. Because misclicks, I would accidentally combine a group of 15 and 6. And all of a sudden 21.
And what
Right.
happens if you accidentally create a group that's too big?
Well, you fail that objective.
You don't have to complete all these special objectives.
You don't
though,
have
do
to,
you?
but I wanted to.
Okay, I get it.
And that was kind of the issue, was because it was so simple. And the other day, actually, I didn't complete it because I was casting that mission. My building that spawns units, I wasn't able to click on it when it went from 20 to 21, and it fucked me.
Do you get rewards for these extra objectives?
Yeah, so at the end of rewards in the sense that you're like completing
Not so
everything.
much rewards
Oh.
as personal satisfaction.
Yeah, pretty much personal satisfaction, like
game is-
completion.
This game isn't much to look at.
It's not. There's
But-
not a whole lot of visual element to it. It's fairly simple, like I
It
said.
does look like something that was like built in this is, this is whatever tech they're working with, but like it looks like it was built in like.
16-bit maybe?
Well, I was gonna say it looks like it was built in like what was that game?
Advance Wars.
No, like
That's what they did
RPG
at
Maker or
Advance
something. Or
Oh yeah.
Like one of those kind of toolkits, those pre-built
Game Maker?
Game Maker,
Game
like
Maker,
pre-built toolkits.
So yeah, no, it is very simple. Like I said, the reason I got into it was because it made me think of Advance Wars, and that kind of got me excited. The problem
But
is
it's real
not, it's not. Yeah, it's
time.
not turn based, and that's my biggest
I was
issue.
kind of getting some
Yeah, I know.
Advance Wars vibes.
Me too.
myself.
That's why, like I said, that's why I started playing this. I don't know how far I'm gonna go with it. I finished the first campaign. There's different like barbarian types. Now I've moved on to another one. This new one adds new elements. Like you have to chop down trees before you can build up a building, and you can't recruit a new guys unless you have a farm with pigs on it, and you kill the pigs, which makes meat, and you need the meat to recruit dudes. So they added more elements to it, but the problem is, once again, it's all RTS.
Yeah.
So there's so much you have to pay attention to, and I really wish there was a simple like press this button and everything just stops. I don't want a big thing to pop up like this. This is paused. I don't want that to come up. I just want everything to stop for a second,
So you
so I can
think.
collect my fucking thoughts, look at what's going on, and then proceed. But you can't.
So they
And-
picked the wrong genre.
yeah, the problem is there's a fast forward button, which I guess can be helpful at times when just a bunch of monotonous stuff is going on. But it really irks me that there's no pause. Like I said, like I think this one, my objective is to take over all of their territory, which is why I stopped
This
advancing.
looks
on
like
them.
this was like a mobile phone game or something, or like it could be.
Yeah, it could be. It's not, but yeah, I don't know.
If you're looking for an Advance Wars fix, I heard you have an iPhone or an iPad.
Yes,
I heard that Warbits
not
on
familiar with
iOS is supposed to be very
Warbits.
very Advance Wars.
it. Okay. But yeah, so I mean, like I said, the writing is fairly good. The humor is pretty funny. The combat's good. I think if you don't try and complete every objective, and you just try to crush your enemies, you might have a better time. I
Can't
don't
follow
know.
your own advice.
Yeah, I've actually started caring less about completing all of the objectives and just kind of like playing it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, that one mission, I spent about 45 minutes on it. Probably if I didn't care about that 20-person limit, I probably could have finished it in like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But I just kept like fucking up on accident, like misclicking. Like when you move a group of soldiers, you can see a little flag pops up, and it has a bunch of different numbers. It has the max number of units, half, and then like a small number, and there's a slider underneath that you can get it to precisely how many units you want. But sometimes you'll like accidentally misclick and hit the wrong thing and send all of your units somewhere, or you think you've unclicked a group of units but you still have them and you accidentally send them somewhere. Because like I said, because it's RTS, you're constantly trying to go fast and you're trying to do this and trying to do this, and that causes me to make mistakes. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I'll keep playing it, especially now that I got to this new campaign, this new area that's added a lot more variety. Like I said, there's new units, there's new things you have to do. This one was purely based on getting you. I didn't even tell you about this. There's buildings that are like big, like what's a word? Like what's like a giant crossbow? There's a word for that.
Ballista?
Ballista, thank you.
Yeah.
There's buildings that are like giant ballistas. And if you're occupied by that, any enemy that comes within an 8 square tile of it will start being shot by it. But once again, strategy-wise, you can use that to your advantage if you're advancing on an enemy unit. So you have 50 guys in one group, you send 10 of them, ballista starts firing at that, you take the other 40 and you swing around and enter the building, and then the ballista stops firing.
Seems kind of tower defensive, tower offensive.
A little bit, yeah. So I don't know, like I said, I'm enjoying it.
Genres?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's fun. I'll
What's it called
continue to
again?
play it. Crush Your Enemies.
Crush your enemies.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're gonna take a break, and we come back. We don't have a lot of news to talk about. With a few things to talk about in the news. We got, I think, one more game to talk about, and then we'll answer it. We'll take questions from Patreon. So, if you're watching us live, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a second. Hello, everyone. Welcome back.
Yo.
Oh, fuck, I said hello, everyone.
Just do it again.
Shit.
Do it again.
I was about to say, hey, guys, welcome back.
And we're back.
And we're back.
No, that's staying in.
Of course it is. All right, so there's one more game. Well, there's one more game or two more games we need to talk about.
I've got one.
All right.
What
Well,
is
I can mention one and talk about one. So.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, Chris Davis.
All right. What's the one you want to talk
Y'all
about?
give me shit about playing just the Division all the time, and then finally, when I play like more than just two
But the
games
problem
at
is you
once,
played, like,
you give
30
me
games.
we know you want to talk about the
You
division.
just need a filter, you know?
I'm not going to talk about the Division. There's
do you
nothing
keep-
to say
Well,
right
we've-
now
Why do you
tricked
keep
you in.
saying the division?
because y'all keep making me.
I don't
okay?
believe you because you're
I've
saying the
been-
word division a lot.
No one's put a gun
I would like
your
to put.
head.
I would like to put a quick mention in that I've been playing the new version of Evolve,
Yes.
which
The one that
is
is allowed now free to play.
it is now free to play.
Well,
It's
there's
called
a
Evolve Stage 2.
There's a free to play version, but if you already paid for it, you get like more content.
So if you bought the game
Yeah.
prior to the announcement of
Free to
Stage
play.
2, you get founder status, and in doing so, you carry over everything you've unlocked previously, and
That's nice
you
of
also get so there's
Nice of them. It's the fucking.
That was the joke, Brad.
there's a,
That was the joke.
He's too old, Nick.
there are also in-game rewards that you get, and the game runs now on a currency system called keys,
Don't you get a shit ton of keys?
and you get like 30,000 keys basically.
I heard originally they were going to give like 3,000.
No,
and
they
people-
gave
Are there-
1,500.
They
So
gave
are-
1,500, and people went fucking bananas.
And characters are like 5,500 to unlock.
Wow.
So
So are there like additional maps and
no,
monsters?
they've actually trimmed content. They took out the evacuation mode, which was the closest thing in the game to a campaign.
But I thought people
They
didn't
took
like
out
that mode.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that good, but it was an interesting idea.
You're
Why do
mad
you
that
ever-
people took
Why
out
do you
bad
remove
content?
content?
Because it was bad.
Because it's not balanced. Because they've done a lot of balance changes. They've also taken out a couple maps too.
I feel like that game was already pretty sparse in terms of the amount of maps.
More was
I think
added
that's why I
since
had
I
trouble
think
getting
you
off the
played
ground.
it.
There's basically 4 maps right now.
Overwatch is a little sparse too, but that doesn't stop them.
There
Is
used
it
to
though?
Yeah.
There used to
Compared to
be like
Evolve?
7 or 8, at least when I remember playing it, way back in February, March 2015. But the main focus of the game right now is all these gameplay balance changes. So, as a founder, I've got access to a lot more characters than just people that are starting up the game for the first time. So there's new skins that have weapon and ability variants. Like, for example, there's one of the assault characters, his name's Markov. He's got like a Tesla rifle thing. Well, that does constant damage, but it's a decent amount of damage. Well, he's got a variant of that. I think it's called Blast Markov, in which the longer you can hold a stream from the Tesla gun, the more damage it'll do over time.
Oh, so it constantly increases as you
Yeah,
hold it on the...
until the charge
Exponential.
runs out.
And that way, that is something that is new only to...
That I believe that's
you have
new
founder
only
status.
to stage 2. Yeah,
But you have to have founder status to have access to that.
you can unlock it, but they're
But if you
Yeah,
have
it's one
founder
of those
access,
things where the founder status
You just get access to
granted
extra
you a
stuff.
bunch of shit
Yeah.
that other people have to unlock.
yeah.
Doesn't everybody have a dome now?
They've rebalanced the combat to where everybody can activate a dome, which traps the monster.
But wasn't that didn't it used to be
That
exclusive?
used to be exclusive to the trapper. This time
So what happened
around,
to the trapper?
so they replaced that trapper's
Yeah.
ability with a recharging satellite scan that points out where the monster is in relation to where you are.
Gotcha.
And yeah, they've just kind of, and they've also put time limits, and they've also rebalanced the monsters and made it to where matches go much faster. The monsters encouraged to actually attack the hunters more frequently, and the monster has a better chance of holding them off at stage 1 and 2 of their evolution. So it feels much better. It's much faster paced. I think teams tend to work a little bit better this time around.
Cool. Do you think them going free to play is going to help?
I think it will. It's really just going to depend on the updates and the stream of content, because they just went free to play like last week.
Yeah.
And again, they cut content for this free to play version. I'm assuming it's going to be reintroduced and
After
balanced.
they've rebalanced it. Yeah.
Because I mean, the maps that they cut or that they've put into the free to play version right now, they've got lighting balance changes. They change the placement of like the wildlife in the area. They completely took out like one of them that was just incredibly tough.
I mean, I think the question though is it going to have legs this time? Because it didn't really have. Unless correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think this had much of a following or a
the
community.
fact that it's free, first off, is really going to help.
Yeah.
And if they can just focus on, again, getting that content out and stepping away from the DLC shitstorm, which, by the way, in their announcement of Stage 2, they literally called that out in the press release. They said, yeah, and then the DLC shitstorm happened.
Wait, is this free to play only on PC?
I think it's going to... I know it's free to play on PC. I think it's going to be pretty soon for consoles as well.
Yeah, just on PC right now.
Was Evolve PS4 or PS3? Like
It was
PS4.
PS4 and Xbox.
PS4 and Xbox One.
Okay,
It was a next
I
gen
couldn't remember
exclusive.
if that was a current gen
Yeah.
game or last gen.
Yeah.
You've been playing
But it's fun.
another game?
What's the other game you've been playing?
The other one is a game that none of y'all are ever going to play. Y'all are never going to play it because y'all don't have
Don't
the
play
hardware
it, guys.
to
He's
play
tricking us. He wants us to play it.
Wait, because what?
it. Because you don't have the hardware to play it. Because this...
We have Xbones.
Yeah, but you don't have Kinects. Because this is a Kinect game. This is...
Whoa. You've been at home playing with your Kinect?
I started playing it
You should be
today,
playing The
actually.
Division, Chris Davis.
Just roll the damn footage.
What?
Do you have... Is
I
this,
gotta
wait,
find the
Is
damn
this going to be
mouse.
footage of you actually, like, playing with the Kinect?
Yeah,
hope so.
actually. The game... I don't even know how to pronounce this game. I only
Fury,
found out
we've
about
already
it
talked
yesterday.
about this.
But it's
Fru.
called Fru.
Fruit?
It is a 2D side-scrolling platformer, but it makes use of the Kinect. Now, imagine...
What is happening on this podcast, everybody?
Do you have to jump through the air to make your character jump?
No. Do you remember Guacamelee? You remember Guacamelee, right?
Of course.
Remember
that game
when
is a
you got-
masterpiece. Are you about to compare a Kinect game to Guacamelee?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
You're not.
Do you remember in Guacamelee when you got the light-dark world switching mechanic?
Yes.
Yes.
Make that a video game.
Okay.
And that's what this game is. Your silhouette...
But first, you have to take off
Highlights.
your
Oh my god,
clothes.
that's your silhouette on the screen.
Yes.
What in the fuck? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you use your silhouette to highlight and show things in the environment that allows your character to interact with them. So you're platforming. I showed up, I moved over a corner of the map, there's a platform. The
This
character
is
can now
fucking
jump on the platform.
Weird.
And it is weird. It takes a while to wrap your head around it, but damn if it isn't really good.
Wait, so how are you controlling the character?
Yeah, your controller, you can hold either stick to move and either trigger
Oh, so
to...
are you holding a controller
it's in
with
his
one
yeah,
left
my
hand?
right. One of my hands.
Oh.
I keep swapping.
I feel like-
I'm looking around for like secrets in the environment. This is just like the first 20 minutes of the game.
I'd say this though, like it seems to be a little unbalanced. I mean, in the sense that, let's say, I might
Don't
have
you
an
trigger me,
easier,
Brad.
I
Don't
might
you
have
trigger
an
me.
easier time playing this than Nick. per
Triggered.
se.
Triggered.
what I mean?
Triggered.
Are you making a comment about my
Well, I mean, I'm very large,
girth or lack
so like
thereof?
I'm very large, and you're very.
I mean, if I
pequeño.
stand, I'm very what?
Pequeño.
It's really all about just your proximity to the camera, really, because you'll
Yeah, you
see
could
later
just
on that
stand closer.
I start standing closer and blocking out more of the screen.
Eventually, he just puts his hand in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Guys, the scary thing about this is that Chris Davis could be playing this game naked.
Naked.
Footage, and we've been having no
Naked.
idea.
Oh, I
my
think I see a
God.
little something between his legs. I think I saw something. What is that? What is that right there?
Oh my God.
He's like trying to punch something.
I'm just imagining Chris Davis.
He's
just
bending
like,
over. What is he putting up there?
I'm stuck between two couches, so I'm trying to maneuver and
When did
be
this
in
come
the
out?
shot.
Why is there a fucking Kinect?
It came
game?
out today or yesterday.
Why is there a Kinect game?
I don't know, but this seems to be like the swan song, the last Kinect game that will ever be made.
Davis, why did you not have something dangling between your legs when you recorded?
God, that was you missed.
Just like
Yeah,
a pair of
You tried to fling that dude into your ass.
like a pair of truck nuts. Look at him. He's like getting in his stance. He's
I
getting
know,
ready.
right? I'm trying to wrap my head around just how do I move and what direction should I be moving in? Because above me or behind
It
me
almost
is
looks
a
like he's like
platform.
reaching for his drink. And he's scared.
Yeah.
He's gonna fucking kill
I'm
his
trying to
character.
figure out how I can keep moving. And
Well, okay, so this might be a little hard to envision for people listening to the podcast at home. I literally, this is a platform like Guacamelee, and by standing in front of the Kinect camera, your silhouette shows up on screen, and certain things in the environment only show up in your silhouette.
yeah.
So you have to move your physical body around to create new paths
I feel
in
like
the world, which is honestly that's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
I can't believe this even exists, though.
this is a thing. Yeah.
I don't think this is the first platformer that
You
has.
just shit out the
I don't
person.
think this is the first platformer that has done this though.
I can't think of any that have done
But
this.
you know, it's,
I'm not saying the light and dark world, but kind of using your body to create platforms.
I mean,
sort of.
this might be the best use of the Kinect I've honestly seen.
Yeah.
Like, this is actually a genuinely cool mechanic, I think.
I think
And it's only possible with the Kinect.
I think it's really interesting.
Well, actually, there's no reason why the fucking PlayStation Eye couldn't do this, right?
But I mean,
I don't know, honestly.
if Nick played this game, how would the character reach the top of the screen?
Fuck you. Low-hanging fruit, Brad. Low-hanging
Yeah,
fruit.
speaking
Low-hanging fruit.
Yeah,
I mean, I've only
give you an
played
advantage in the game.
I've only played a good 20-30 minutes of this
Oh, I
game,
thought you were
and
saying
I only
20,
played
30
it today.
hours. I was like, what?
But
The text
it's
seems
really
kind of impressive.
it's pretty impressive. I like it.
It's got a cool art style, even outside of the Kinect.
Yeah. What's interesting? So it seems to be
Look at
like-
him.
Look, I make a bridge. Yeah, I make a bridge out of
That's
myself.
cool.
Yeah. But no, there's
Now
doesn't
turn
seem to be really-
sideways. Make a bridge with your penis.
I'm fully clothed during this, by the way.
I don't believe you at all.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
That's the better question.
Yeah,
Because
like-
I don't want things dangling. Because
I
just
mean-
because I've got an 18-inch cock,
Oh my
doesn't mean I
God.
need to show it off for chat. Okay.
I mean, you did
Okay,
miss,
Jonah Falcon.
you did miss like a perfect comedy opportunity here.
Oh yeah, I
Dude,
know. I
if,
know.
oh man, dude, if I would have been playing this, I would have just stuck a Pringles can in my pants and then like halfway through just turned sideways.
So yeah, here's this wall, and
look
I'm
at he's
blocking
trying
it
to put
out
it in
so
his
he
butt.
so she can cross. The game doesn't really seem to have a story, but it does take advantage, at least presentation wise, with the silhouette, to where, like for example, the audio design will shift like you're underwater when you go into the silhouette.
Oh.
I don't know. It's very early for me. I'm still learning the basics.
What are you doing,
ideas.
Chris Davis?
I'm trying to figure out how to get her across the damn map.
It's cool though.
It is cool.
You're right. We will never play this because no one here except you owns a Kinect.
Yeah.
I never thought we would need one ever again, personally.
You can actually get her trapped in a wall if you walk away.
Can you even buy a Kinect anymore? Can you walk into a store and buy a Kinect?
They just released an adapter, or they're going to release an adapter for $40 that lets you plug in a Kinect into the new Slims.
Wait, what?
But can you buy the
But no one has a Kinect.
Can you buy the
you
Kinect
can buy
system?
Kinects. Yes,
Okay.
you can. But this is like the last
Rubbing your
game I think they'll
fucking
ever
hand.
make.
I know, right? He's
Yeah,
like
why
a
is it-
stump.
Yeah, why does it look like your
This
hand is
part,
severed?
I was so confused as to how to go around.
Like you
When
can
I
see his
realized-
mind working. Oh my god!
And I realized I fucked up because you can actually go back and you can go up top and across and get down from that platform. But I didn't realize that at the time. I didn't think I could go back. So like, what the fuck do I
Fuck
do?
this game!
And then it does the silly walk silhouette there.
This is awesome.
This game.
People listening to this at home are probably like,
He
what
looks like
the
he's trying to surf. He's trying to surf.
Okay. This is legitimately. I would recommend anyone who's listening to this at home and has
It's
no
gonna
idea
be a
what the
good
fuck
video.
we're talking about. I would recommend going to watch the podcast video because it's pretty unique.
I keep pressing the back button every now and then because it says it can reset your silhouette. So I'm like, I thought maybe it was a problem with my silhouette and I was not in the right position.
Yeah, there's a problem with your body shape. You can't play the game. It's done.
And then the revelation right there, like, oh wait, maybe I can go up. And I'm like, son of a bitch, there's platforms.
I mean, the sad thing here is that like, this is a game I would actually play if I had a Kinect.
Yeah.
But like, I don't. There's no that thing is dead in the water. There's no fucking way.
Yeah, no,
Dead
it's
in the water. Okay, but I'm glad you played it. This is cool.
I do like it.
Let us know if you keep playing it. It's
I probably will.
interesting concept. All right, we need to move on. News-wise, there's a few interesting things we wanted to bring up this week.
Quadrilateral Cowboy has a release date. It's coming out at the end of the fucking month. Quadrilateral Cowboy. If you don't know what that is, you will.
That is a game I played at PAX East like
Was
3
it
years
East?
ago.
Yeah.
That was good.
That was a while
It's
ago.
really cool. I feel like I haven't seen it in a while, but like it looks like now that it's coming out, it looks like it's maybe changed a little bit graphically, and I'm sure mechanically it's changed quite a bit in the last couple of years. But it is cool because that game was super awesome because you basically interface with the entire game by learning a coding language.
Yeah.
And you use that to solve puzzles, unlock doors, and shit like that. It's pretty cool. And I'm super glad that's coming out. That's definitely one I would like to play. Is it PC only? I would imagine.
Probably.
So.
Probably at least at launch, yeah.
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 So that's coming out. But do we have an exact date?
Nope.
Coming out at the end of the month, I believe.
Yep.
Yep.
Can't wait.
Also, I was kind of upset about this, but Earth Defense Force 4.1 has just got announced for Steam. It's coming out next week.
Earth Defense Force 4.1.
That is crazy news, Chris Davis.
Hey, that's a good series. It's not a great series at all, but it's a fun series.
Sure. No, I'm not.
I was upset because the day they announced it, I didn't know about it until after they had a deal on Amazon for $20 for it on PS4. It's like, God damn it.
Oh, you bought it?
Yeah, I ended up buying it. I wanted the PC version.
This is
Sucker.
I have the weirdest. So this, I was just fucking weird. Nintendo announced a mini NES,
Yeah.
A mini NES?
a mini NES.
Mini.
Like
A NES?
I've heard of. We know all like major platform holders will release miniature versions of their current platforms, but to see them release a console that hasn't been new in the market in how many years?
I mean, it's
This
not,
is not
it's
a
not even a
console.
console. This is a plug-and-play system.
Yeah, it's like one of those
These-
things you go to the mall and you buy like
so
for
you
$30.
can't just pop in your
No.
games and play it.
No,
No.
this is that's why when we were talking about it earlier in the day, I was like, I don't know why people are excited for this.
You plug and play it.
li-
It comes-
I don't think people are excited.
It looks like a mini NES.
It's a little emulation
it has
box.
30 games on it. You plug it in and
And there's
you-
no way to add additional games.
I
to
think
No,
what's
it will
interesting
not.
about this is that it's and when I say interesting, I don't mean like, oh man, let's go buy one. It's interesting because this is a first-party Nintendo product releasing this thing that's usually relegated to like these
Yeah.
garbage companies that don't even have permission to do what they're doing.
Absolutely.
But these things sell. And this is we're seeing a very different Nintendo. with Pokemon Go, with them finally embracing like mobile, with them doing this. You know, they also like license their stuff out way more than they used to.
They clearly want to make money as easily as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, putting in as little effort as they can.
It's people are gonna buy it because like, oh, it's it's a little
nostalgic.
Nintendo. I remember some of these games, but this thing's gonna sell, especially
sure
around
it
like
will.
the holidays and stuff. It's such a stupid idea because like they sell all these fucking games on the virtual console for almost any of their fucking systems in the past 10 years, and it's
It's got 30 games on it. The list is all right. They've got the Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers trilogy. It's got Ninja Gaiden.
It's got
Punch Out. It's got just a bunch of the relative classics that most people realize or remember.
Yeah.
but the Super Nintendo one, that's the one where you start getting into games.
That's
that are
the one I
actually
want.
That would be good games.
lengthy, interesting, meaningful. I mean, like the NES era.
Dude, NES games, most of them fucking suck.
Most of them don't hold
Yeah.
up as well as like say Super Nintendo
you remember
games.
it, you remember having fun playing it, but go fucking play like fucking Duck Hunt or something, or like those
Like-
games weren't as great as you remember.
You know, like stuff like the original Metroid and the original Zelda and like. I
don't think
a
Metroid's
lot of
even
those
on
games didn't get.
He's not saying it is. He's just saying if you like remember those games were a big deal. Well, the thing is, the original Metroid, yeah, it was great, but the series
Yeah.
didn't fucking take off till Super Metroid.
just point
Same
out.
with Zelda. The first one was the second one was shit. Link to the Past was when that game became fucking great.
Yeah.
Like the first Zelda, it's fucking everything's hidden behind something that you don't
Gotta just
understand.
bomb every wall.
Yeah, you gotta fucking
game doesn't
bomb
give you
everything and-
direction.
yeah, no, it's. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying it's definitely not.
It is inferior.
Yeah,
Some
you know,
people like Zelda.
And it has 2 Castlevania games on it.
It's
too.
just a weird thing.
Yeah, it has the original Castlevania and Simon's Quest. The third well, whatever.
It is just a weird thing, which is why I wanted to bring it up, I guess. I have no intention of buying it.
It's weird because
obviously.
this is a first party product, which, you know, a lot of the other like plug and play boxes are usually like really cheap quality, have shoddy emulation.
Knockoffs
This might actually like be a quality, cool little like stocking stuffery type product, you know, like this thing could sell really well.
It's gonna
I
retail.
better
For,
tell Bernadette not to buy me one
it's gonna
Yeah,
retail for
yeah,
50.
me
It's gonna
too.
retail for $59.99.
because she might be like, oh, he might like that, but I need to make sure she knows I don't. I'm gonna
Yeah.
text her right.
And it comes with one controller.
And
you
there's
can
2
buy
ports,
additional
though.
controller
Oh my God.
for $10.
You,
boy.
You can plug it into your Wiimote and it works wirelessly.
Yeah.
Like the port
The port looks like
on
the
there
Wii,
is
yeah.
the same port
Yeah.
as what's on a Wiimote.
You can use it on an actual virtual console like on the Wii and Wii U.
I
It's
feel
just
like
like
we've
a
already
nunchuck.
talked about
So
this longer
essentially, they're putting virtual console games on a small box and selling it for $60.
Very much
It
so.
is interesting though. We're seeing a very different Nintendo. Like the Nintendo from like, you know,
Well, it's opposed to
years
a lot of
like a
Nintendo.
few years ago. Like I could see this Nintendo like doing a phone or something. You know what I mean? Like this just seems kind of weird.
This is the
Crazy.
age of Nintendo realizing, oh shit, we're only putting out 5 games a year. We got to make money somehow.
Are we,
No
are we a
one
little bit blurry, or am I just?
We're a little blurry. Any other news though?
I mean, not really.
I mean, the Pokemon Go was kind of a news topic, and we kind of
Yeah.
we already talked about it. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's the fact that I don't know if the
I
figures
think we're
are
still
true.
in this post E3 lull of
Yeah.
news.
I don't know if the figures are true, but they were saying that on iOS alone, Nintendo was making $1.6 million a day.
Yeah.
That's absurd.
Yeah.
But hey, it's funding the future of Nintendo, so who knows? Maybe this will bleed over and impact other franchises or games that are
Or
coming
maybe they'll
down the
make
pipe.
a decent console.
Maybe. I would still really like to fucking know what they're releasing in however many months. 6 is the fucking NX. What are we? This is July, so in 9 months they're supposed to release a new console. We haven't seen it, which is weird. Anyways, let's move on. Shall we just jump straight into community?
Absolutely.
I think so.
Let's do it.
Do what?
Community.
It's a community.
I did a horrible job. this time.
Community. I know. I listened. I listened to last week's podcast.
I know you did a horrible job.
It's all right. I don't forgive you, but whatever. Past is the past.
I think it always sucks. I think we need to like take some time out to some time out of our week to get together and like practice some sort of like a cappella, like quartet kind of thing, you
Yeah.
know, to lead into the community and really surprise these people. Although I've said it on mic and now they know. Damn it.
Or maybe you could spend some time during the week messing with the mixer.
Yeah. You get a lot of time with that,
You
don't you?
understand, like,
We're
being
not having
live with a bunch of people is very different than me home alone. How the fuck am I supposed to figure out what works and what doesn't by myself?
YouTube videos and instruction manuals.
All right. This conversation is spiraling.
All right, we got two new patrons
Yes,
since
we
last
did.
week. Jerome and Austin.
Jerome or Jerome?
Jerome with an N.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jerome.
So thank you, Jerome
And
and Austin.
Austin.
We appreciate you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate
Gracias.
it. By the way, there is a new Dinner Time podcast that I posted last night. It's available. It's on the Patreon activity feed or on the supporter content page on the site. Check that out. Me, Crispy, and Chris Davis got together with a short cameo from Brad. Got
I
together.
wasn't invited
Like
to
10
this.
seconds.
You were on driving to San Antonio.
After y'all had dinner.
You were also in. I was already down south. We were eating.
I was in Round Rock cooking lots of barbecue, and then I invited you over.
I
And you said, I'm having...
You didn't
lunch.
invite me
Because
for
you were
barbecue.
with him.
I would have abandoned ship. It's barbecue.
all right.
Well, I say barbecue.
Nobody had barbecue. This is neither here nor there.
No,
I don't
I
think that
did.
people want to hear us bicker about what we ate
I
on Sunday.
had ribs and chicken and sausage. Oh God, Elgin sausage is goddamn
I
fantastic.
had a shitty sandwich. We should have gone to his place and just recorded dinner time.
There you go.
I was already like
You got a
almost
sandwich
to the
at a
restaurant.
pizza place?
He did.
And you're fucking
All right,
blaming...
moving on. Supporter of the month is still Shaggy Valentine.
Which, by the way,
We haven't played the game yet.
but we have plans to play WarioWare because he picked WarioWare Smooth Moves. For
correct. Well, WarioWare, but yeah.
WarioWare.
Yeah.
So we're gonna play WarioWare before the podcast next week and the week after that. Mm-hmm. So look for that. So I guess we'll probably go live by around 7 or so, 7:15, and play that until the show starts next
Sounds
week. So
good.
we'll get that on the calendar as soon as possible.
All right.
Bring your Wiimotes.
Oh, dude, fucking
dig that.
maybe text me that or something. Shoot me an email telling me that, and I'll do it. If you don't, I won't. You've been warned.
You've been warned.
All right, so
Shoot yourself an email.
I'm reading questions from our patrons, Brad.
What kind of questions?
I'm trying.
I'm trying to help.
You're killing me, guys. You're fucking killing me. Read the questions.
The first question this week from David C. So I've been getting a lot of hate over not liking or getting interested in playing Pokemon Go. What the fuck, David? Why don't you like it?
See, there's that hate.
Like, bro, it's just my opinion. Calm your titties. I enjoy the concept. It's just not my cup of tea. Not hating on it. I'm just not going to play it
think you put
anytime
this in
soon.
quotes.
I'm just imagining David Cameron saying this right now.
So you put this in quotes, right? It's like, calm your titties.
Yeah. Well, there's no quotes on it because he said it. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he meant to put it in quotes.
He's
yes.
not talking to us. When
No,
he's
he's-
quoting himself, saying
Correct.
this to other people.
Correct. Has there ever been a point in your life where you didn't like something that was so popular and liked by the general populace that was new at the time, and everyone thought you were on the haterade, but you actually had valid reasons for not liking it that no one cared about? And don't say Xenoblade Chronicles for the Wii, Brad. We all know how you feel, and I completely understand what you were getting at with that
Okay,
game.
I'll say Persona 4.
So yeah, I mean, there's definitely been times where, you know, the hype train's been so fucking fast that I choose to not board it.
I feel like Overwatch right now is kind of that situation
little
for me
bit.
right now.
Yeah.
Not that I wouldn't enjoy that game, but it really is one of those situations where I don't know. I just don't feel the drive to play. It may not be my cup of tea.
All the Assassin's Creed after Assassin's Creed 3.
I mean, I guess
You didn't even play Black Flag.
I would not.
Well, I played Black Flag.
That's
I played,
I think we're generalizing it a little bit.
Unity.
Like, he's talking about something that fucking everyone's playing, like fucking Candy Crush. You know, that was a game that fucking the entire goddamn world started playing.
I think this goes beyond games too. He just said in general anything.
Yeah.
Like movies, TV.
Whatever. Yeah, and I think we've all definitely had something that.
I think TV would be a big one.
Oh yeah.
It'd be easy to find examples for television.
There's lots of like shows that someone's like, I can't believe you don't watch that, and it's like, I don't hate it, I just never gotten
Like,
around to it,
yeah,
and I don't
it's-
have a drive to.
Was Modern Family huge?
No, oh god, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's
something.
just-
That's one. Brad, you watched at least the pilot of that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than I've never seen a single episode, and it's not that I think the actors on the show are good actors. I've seen them in other things, I just never had a drive to watch it.
I've never watched Mr. Robot, so
But there's another
still
part to
fairly
that
new.
question that
I didn't watch Mr. Robot because I thought it was something totally different. Then I found out what it really was, and I was like, oh, I'd probably like that.
What was the question, Brad?
there's another part to that question about. Well,
No, it's just ever been a point in your life when you didn't like something that was super popular, but you had valid reasons for not liking it that no one cared about.
If you go back way back, I'm sure we can all find something
Oh yeah.
like. Anybody here not Ninja Turtles fan when it was huge?
I mean, I was 8, so of course I was into it.
Whatever.
Only
And they really
idiots were not into it. when
and they
it
stopped
was-
making games after Turtles in Time, really. So
Fair enough.
All right, next question from Landon.
Landon.
How fucking excited are you for Near Automata? Do you say Automata or Automata?
I don't know. That I have no fucking clue.
Automata, I think it's.
I think it's like an automaton, like a robot.
Yeah.
Like
I'm just gonna call it Near.
Near
Two.
I call it Automata.
Automata.
I'm fucking. Well,
Those new gauntlet weapons are amazing.
So I actually haven't seen these gauntlet weapons he's referring
They
to.
seem very familiar.
I'm excited.
Familiar-
I started playing Near.
familiar for like platinum, is what you're saying? Like something you would see in like
Yeah,
Bayonetta.
Like Beowulf or something,
Yeah.
or actually, they do remind me of very specifically of like maybe the claws from Bayonetta.
Yeah, I like how. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. I recently started playing Near. I got really into it, and then I started fishing, and I threw the game in the trash. And so I'll probably pick it back up. Seriously,
you know that's like
I know.
the fishing.
I know. I've heard.
The joystick review, they stopped playing because they couldn't fish, and they couldn't review the
Dude,
game.
I haven't
and-
caught a single thing. I literally, there's footage of me. I was going to upload it fishing for 45 minutes.
First of all,
The fact that you fish for 45 minutes without catching
you
anything
never
in a
go
video
fishing
game?
for fun in that game because the fishing is terrible.
Yeah.
Secondly, you need to find the one part of the game where you're required to go do it. You got to make sure you're in the right spot.
I eventually looked it up and I got what I needed for that.
Okay.
Yes.
And then you never have to do it again.
I fished for 45 minutes and I wanted to upload that, and then after I stopped fishing, have the next clip be me throwing the game in the
Dude,
trash
that would be
can.
perfect. You should just record you should record a like 45-minute session of you fishing but not catching anything, but like put the title of the video as like catches the biggest fish ever in Near. It's like
That is
people would be like, when does he catch the fish? And then you get to the end and nothing.
Near
really
Fish
is one
Lotto?
of my favorite fucked games.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Next question from Sean. Most people who have been gaming for most of their lives have a timeline for game consoles they have owned, starting from the SNES to the PS1, PS2 to PS3, to give one example. Looking back on your gaming life with the benefit of hindsight, would you change which game consoles you owned during a specific
Man, this
generation?
is a good question.
E.g., swapping out the SNES if you had a Sega Saturn you wished you had instead.
That's a really
That's a
good
good question. It's also hard for me because after a certain point in my life, you all know I kind of became kind of an early adopter on shit, so I would typically buy the new consoles as they came out. But prior to that, so like I started with a SNES. I don't think I would have traded the SNES for anything. Although my buddy had a Genesis.
I knew a lot of people with Genesis.
Genocide.
But I was never a big fan of the game. Like I honestly personally never been into Sonic. Like I mean the game was okay. I was dating a girl in middle school.
Big air quotes.
You know
Big
those
air
middle
quotes.
school girlfriends that you like
Hey,
hold
man,
hands.
8's the new 21.
I gotta say, as far as like first consoles that I got,
Okay.
like
That was the end of my story.
well,
I was fucking telling a story, bro. As far as console, I was trying to tell a fucking story.
go ahead.
I had a girlfriend in middle school, and she had a Genesis, and I would go to her house sometimes and play it. But I just like I don't know what what were there any Genesis exclusives besides Sonic that
Yeah,
were
there
like
was some.
Yeah, I just don't know if they
Rise
stand
Star,
up.
Compared to
Vector
the
Man.
SNES.
good games? I meant.
There was a
Wait,
Contra
Well,
Hardcore.
Fantasy Star, Shining Force. You know,
Okay.
Yeah,
there's
there was
Ultra
a couple,
Beast.
but I mean, it doesn't compare
Not
to
as
the
iconic as
SNES.
SNES. No
No.
way. I got my PS1. I had to make a choice between what else was coming out right around the time of the PS1.
Nothing.
N64 and
yeah,
Saturn.
N64.
I can't remember what came first for me though. I can't remember if I
Dude,
got my
like I
N64
would have
first
traded my N64 for a PS1.
Yeah.
I didn't have because I got the N64 maybe about 6 months after it came out. I didn't get my PS1 until fucking like 3 years.
I know
later.
when I got my PS1, Resident Evil 2 was already out. Final Fantasy 7 was already out.
Yeah.
Maybe even Final Fantasy 8 was already out. I don't even know.
Without going into too much detail, I'm gonna say I think I did it right. I mean, I guess the first console I owned was a SNES.
Me too.
Because before that I just played with friends. I went SNES, PS1, PS2, 360, PS4.
Never an N64?
I think I did, but we're talking about kind of like the first console
Okay.
that you purchased that generation.
Okay.
Like that was definitely a time where you made a decision of one over the other. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like going SNES, PS1, PS2, 360, and then PS4 is probably the
Never had
right
a PS3?
choice.
No, so and that's the other thing. So I will say I did something similar. I did SNES, N64, PS2, PS3, and I really wish I would have gotten a 360 instead of the PS3. The only reason I got the PS3 was for Metal Gear Solid. That was the only reason. But I missed out on a shit ton of Xbox 360 games, and I didn't get my 360 until 2010.
What?
Yeah, that's when I got my 360. The thing is, I worked at Game Crazy when 360s were first coming out.
Yeah.
And so I knew about them, and I played a little bit at work, but I didn't get a personal one until 2010. So there was a lot of fucking games I missed out on and had to catch up on.
How is mic crackling when no one's touching it? I don't know. I had a SNES first. I got a SNES for like Christmas or my birthday or something from my parents. Didn't like it. At that time. I didn't fucking play games. Like I had Mario Kart, and for whatever reason really wasn't my thing
On the SNES?
on the SNES.
I mean, Mario Kart on the SNES is not exactly
I don't know, man.
the
It was
cream
just-
of the crop.
It really wasn't until I sought out the N64 because I really wanted to play Mario 64 and GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Because I saw that on, I think I went to a friend's house and saw it or something. But went and got myself an N64, and that's where it kind of blew up for me. And from there, I was like, I have to have a PS1.
Nick, can you hold on 1 second?
Uh-huh.
Good.
So yeah, I have my trajectory or timeline's a little weird,
Yeah.
but hey, whatever.
I mean, I tended to adopt all the systems that were coming out.
Oh, well,
I never
okay,
got it.
Mr.
I never got a
Rich
Saturn.
Did anybody in this room have a Saturn?
No,
Did we
I
all
never
skip
had one.
Saturn?
Of course, that was like the worst marketed system in the fucking world.
Who skipped the Dreamcast? Who got a Dreamcast?
I
got
never, I
Dreamcast.
never had a Dreamcast.
I got a
Well, I have
Dreamcast.
one now. I didn't get my Dreamcast until like 2007.
I had to have a Dreamcast because of Resident Evil Code Veronica.
I bought it for Code Veronica and Air Force Delta.
Air Force Delta.
It was an Ace Combat clone.
What is the next question, or do we have another question?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But I remember my grandparents giving me Ocarina of Time for Christmas one year, and that's how I kind of got a 64. But they frustrated. It was fucking frustrating because they hid it inside like this huge lamp box, and I thought for like 2 hours that I got a lamp for Christmas.
What was it like was it an actual like
Fuck
lamp?
you, Grandma.
Was it an actual lamp that was like it's just a giant tall
It was
box?
just
and you
huge,
assumed
a
it was
huge
a
box,
lamp?
and I looked at it and I was like, okay.
That's
I was
a
judging
lamp
a
for
box.
sure.
I was judging it by its color.
I know that shape. That's a lamp.
No, the game was inside a lamp box.
I know,
The
but-
box had a lamp picture.
Oh,
on
was
it.
the lamp box not wrapped?
No, it was wrapped.
See, I'm about to say he just looked at this box
Yeah.
and was like,
Okay.
"That's a lamp."
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm like 10 years old when this game is out. So
All right, moving on. Next question from Piosht.
Pioffed.
be off.
Last podcast, Nick mentioned that Darkest Dungeon was a game he wanted to get to before the year was over.
I do.
What other games from the first half of this year do you hope to get back by the end? Hope to get back by the
I think
end?
hopes to get
play.
back to before the end of the
Yeah.
year.
Oh, he did say back to. Yeah, sorry.
Salt and Sanctuary is a big one for me
Oh, that's a good one.
because I've played like about 7 or 8 hours of it, and I know I want to play more.
Quantum Break. Definitely
Breaks.
Quantum Break.
That one's that's one I'm definitely glad I went back and
I need to
played.
go back and finally finish The Witness. But that I've been playing Nolan's game, and I think now that I'm on a new hard drive, I need to.
Oh, I'll sign in for you.
Okay.
I would love to go back and play Star Fox once they bow
What?
to the public and actually update it with
Why?
good controls.
Stop it.
It'll happen.
Don't play Star Fox.
I have a list: Oxenfree, Darkest Dungeon, Far Cry Primal, Quantum Break, and that's pretty much it. So
I hope
far.
somebody else in the site plays Far Cry Primal before the end of the year.
I mean, I played it.
He said he hopes someone else.
Oh, all the way through. I put in about a good 20 hours to it.
Okay, well that's better than I thought. I kind of thought I was like the only one who actually even touched it.
It was just the thing is, it came out at a time where there's a bunch of other games out, and it's kind of, I don't want to say just more Far Cry, but
It's
it kind
very
of
samey.
is.
It
And
is
that-
samey, but
yeah.
it is unique enough because of its choice of setting.
Fire Emblem's a big one for
Justified.
me.
Moving
and I
on.
want to finish
Oh,
Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah. We have a lot of questions this week. I was super late in posting it. I didn't post it till today, but we have so many questions.
I'm glad you guys are submitting questions.
Yeah,
love
no, I
questions.
like
Yeah,
it.
thank you.
We love
Austin
questions and comments.
asks,
also.
just out of curiosity, and yes, I know I had a question before this. You did?
Wait, who is this?
Austin? Am I reading them backwards? No,
Maybe.
I don't know. No, I'm not. He doesn't have any other questions.
Oh.
Maybe he's referring to a comment he left.
But why aren't you guys excited as Crispy is for No Man's Sky? It looks to be very promising.
Well, part of that is because we don't know what the fuck that game even is.
I would say my thing about it is that there's a lot of these almost infinite universe space games coming out, and it's very intimidating.
Ain't
to
nobody
me.
got time for that. Like, and I was talking with Brad because when I came over today, Brad was watching the new trailer that just came out.
Yeah, I saw it today.
And it looks good. My problem is I don't want to like it because if I like it, that's hundreds of hours of potential gameplay
Dude,
that
I'm
almost
prepared-
doesn't go anywhere.
I'm preparing myself to literally just play this game for like 20 or 30 hours and then just get to a point where I feel satisfied that I've played enough.
I mean, the thing about No Man's Sky, it's really going to push focusing on discovering things.
Oh, yeah.
But the main drive of the game is supposed to be to get to the center of the galaxy, and evidently that's going to take people months to do.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if it's a game where I kind of want to wait and see what the trajectory is in the game. Like, people start playing it, and like, I want to see how long it takes for the first person to like finish it. You know what I mean? Like, get to the center of the universe. What? What?
I keep touching Brad's foot and he like freaks out.
Being no one. The camera's freaking out.
It is?
Maybe a little bit.
we
went
were
mad
against a
blurry for
green
a second.
backdrop, and it can't read our faces sometimes.
Well, turn off like autofocus.
well,
or
I will
whatever.
do that next time.
Mr. Green Toast asks, I just got into Guild Wars 2, and holy shit, how have I missed out on an awesome MMORPG? You can be freaking planet race a la Jolly Green Giant style. Anyhow, when's
Plant
the last...
race.
Huh?
Plant race.
Yeah,
It could
that's...
be a plant race.
Sorry,
like
that's what I
planet race.
meant. Sorry. Anyhow, when's the last time you've been genuinely shocked over features in an old game?
In an old game?
An old
Like a game you missed out on or something, and then you finally got around to playing it, and you're like, oh, wow, I didn't realize this was this. This is awesome.
Oh,
type
man.
deal.
I
That
love
definitely
I love going
happens.
back to old games.
That definitely happens. I'm trying to think of
Maybe
something else.
Castlevania for me, or Metroid, because both of those are like Super Metroid. But both of those are games that are classics that I just recently played.
I'd never played a Metroid game until Prime 3 Corruption, and that was a delightful surprise. So,
I mean, I think Metroid or Castlevania or any Metroidvania is a really
What about them though? Like they're asking.
just because like you don't realize how deep a game like that is until you actually sit down with the.
Is there any
intention of playing.
specific mechanic or something in the game?
I mean, honestly, the first thing that comes to mind really just is the way the worlds and the worlds are laid out in those games. It's not really a mechanic, but it's you can watch footage of someone playing a game for a couple minutes and be like, oh, that looks pretty cool. But it's not until you've actually taken the time yourself to kind of explore and see how everything connects and is woven back into each other and that kind of thing to really go, holy shit, these games are intricate and they're awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So
Cool. All right, next question.
I can't think of an answer.
Yeah, I can't think of one. I know that happened. I can't think of any off the top of my head. Next question from Nick the Batman. Are there any older games you couldn't go back to after playing the sequels, whether it be for something greatly improved, game or gameplay visuals, whatever?
Devil May Cry. I can't do it.
wait, which you gotta be specific here. Which one?
No, Devil May Cry in general. Ninja Gaiden broke me.
That is not the
not the
spirit of the question.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait,
I would say something like the first Assassin's Creed. Like, there's no fucking
Yeah,
way.
you
I
can't go
tried
back.
to replay that, but it's like so monotonous.
anything post
and,
Brotherhood
like,
will prevent you from going back to.
yeah.
Going back to the first Dark Cloud. That too is just so
Yeah.
good and complex.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
The first Witcher.
Ooh, Uncharted 1.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
still
I mean,
holds
well,
up a bit.
Witcher.
Yeah, I said the first Witcher. Yeah.
man,
Witcher was hard to play even when it came out.
Oh
though.
yeah.
man.
You look around this room and you kind of.
There's a lot of games that fall into this category.
Yeah.
I'll keep thinking about it.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next question.
From Prince of the Universe. As soon the Pokemon Go phenomenon started, one of the first questions everyone asked is, what other franchises could this work with? So my question to you is, assuming that it would be just as popular as Pokemon Go, what property would you be interested to see adapted to this format? And other than having to collect something and travel the real world, which is required in the hypothetical, what other mechanics would you have in it?
Okay,
Somebody take another franchise and putting it into
Augmented reality.
yeah, kind of.
I mean, that's a really hard question to answer if you try and go anywhere outside of games that kind of fit that Pokemon.
Collecting kind
Yeah,
of.
like one thing that comes to like everyone wants to go, oh, Digimon. First thing comes to mind for me is like maybe Monster Rancher.
I was actually going to say that. Yes.
What do you do? Do you go around and take people's CDs from them?
Well, no,
Like-
no, no.
Yes,
Yeah,
you break into people's cars, you steal their CD. Wait, that wouldn't work either. Maybe you have to go around and like
you could scan objects in the environment like you press a
like
button.
Circular
Shazam,
things.
like you Shazam music, and that each song.
There you
get
go,
gets
yeah.
gets that kind of shit.
Interesting.
Grand Theft Auto Go.
That's just called Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
You got break into people's cars and hotwire them.
Okay.
Okay, good idea, Brad. Good idea.
Animal Crossing. You go into furniture stores, take pictures of furniture, and boom, it's in your Animal Crossing house.
That would be interesting. Furniture stores would hate that,
Yes. Actually, not. Maybe not, because they'd get a lot of traffic then.
but they
I mean,
valuable traffic though. There's a
Yeah.
distinction between lots of traffic and valuable traffic.
yeah.
Hey, who knows?
What about like
Maybe
a
those-
Fatal Frame Go.
What about a
Oh,
And you alternate,
Oh,
you're
God.
killing ghosts out in the
with
world.
yeah, that would be interesting. What about
that would be cool. Actually.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Also terrifying. Like you have to play at night, and
Yeah,
you have to like
augmented
go
reality,
out.
yeah.
You have to go out into like the woods and stuff.
Yeah.
But a lot of people get murdered when
Oh, yeah, of
doing that.
course.
So you know.
what about like a Hitman Go?
Already got that.
It's funny. How about a Legacy of Kain Go? How about we get that?
Wait, are we
All right.
talking about like the Pokemon Go, or have we bled over into playing?
All right, next question from Arxidus. If you had the chance to merge the art style / art direction of one game with the mechanics / gameplay systems of another, what two games would you pair up?
Oh fuck me, like Godaz.
Oh man, that's a,
Yeah, that's tough.
we're getting a lot of good questions, and I feel like we don't really have enough time.
To go in depth
What's-
on them.
What's the
go
name of the
with
guy who did the art for Dishonored and Half-Life 2?
Bob Dole. What does it matter?
And
The guy who did that
Co-
art.
combine that with Zelda. I would love like that kind of world. I think
Wind
that'd be
Waker?
awesome.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about art direction,
Art direction.
You mean
Okay.
like that dystopian?
like a dystopian Zelda.
Well, not necessarily dystopian, but
Are you talking about
just
like the artist, like the actual,
artisanal architecture of the
like
world.
the visual style, or are you
Yes.
talking about the world, like the vibe of the world?
Yes.
Wait, which
What?
one? That was a question. That was one or the other.
One or the other.
The,
You
like
can't say yes.
the artistic direction.
The artistic direction. I can't speak right
I'm
now.
not gonna ask that. He's just gonna say yes.
That one. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Noted.
What do you want, Brad?
How about like the art style of something like Odin Sphere, a Vanillaware game, but like Castlevania?
That would be good. Yeah. Well, isn't that Bloodstained?
Yeah, Bloodstain looks.
Yeah,
pretty
that's
close
kind
to
of
that.
Bloodstained.
Bloodstained don't look that good.
I know it didn't look that good. I said it's kind of Bloodstained. But yes, I see what you're saying.
I mean, honestly, I would
just
take.
want a
I would take
Castlevania
any
that looks
2D
beautiful in 2D.
side-scrolling version of any major franchise if the team of Vanillaware did the art for it.
Yeah, no, seriously. Or like Arc System.
Fucking Resident Evil.
Arc System Works. I think that Guilty Gear game looks so fucking good. Like it kind of blows other 2D, 3D stuff out of the water. Yeah. Also, now that I'm finally playing Persona 4, I'm totally gonna play that Persona fighting game because it's
really?
made by the same people
Yeah.
that makes Guilty Gear.
I don't have. an
Are you
answer
gonna
to
do
that,
dancing all night too?
All right,
I
one
don't
more
know about
question.
so.
Do it with Carlos. That'd be great.
You don't actually dance; you just tap
What's the
or
point?
hit
then?
buttons.
Nolan.
I'm skipping that one. You were tasked with tattooing one person to your left. You have the power to put anything you want. It's your decision. What do you
Dick,
brand your
forehead.
4-player cohorts with?
Dick,
Really?
forehead.
Brad,
Okay.
Brad, I tend to
Penis, forehead.
I have faith in your comedic talent that you would not just go with a dick on my forehead.
Chris Davis, the only problem with that is I've already said if I'm ever going to get a tattoo, it would be dick butt.
But no, this would be a tramp stamp.
That's fine. Where else would you put a tattoo of dick butt?
That's where dick butt belongs.
Like I said, if I would get it on my ass cheek.
I would tattoo like
Chris Davis.
I would tattoo
the person to your left.
I would tattoo like a big cat on Chris Davis, like
What?
But like on his like full chest, just a cat.
That's like cold. That's cold, man.
And his the cat's
mean.
You
hair.
would love it.
He's like, you could make maybe a nipple the butthole.
It would be like the cat's butt facing forward
Yeah.
with his nipple as the butthole. Then on the back is like
No,
the front of the cat.
it would be two cats.
Let's not give Chet any ideas
with their
for fan art,
tails,
okay?
like in a heart. But his nipples are the buttholes of the cats. But you see like their tails going up making a heart.
I want Nick to have like a full Yakuza style like back tattoo of just like a very realistic like Matt Damon face.
You know, I would take that over what you guys have ended up with over this.
Here
question.
I was the nicest guy here, and I gave Nolan the dick butt tattoo.
I was trying to think of something good for Brad. I was trying to think of like something.
I would get PewDiePie tattooed on his back.
Oh my god.
Why?
I don't know. You say his name a lot.
Fuck PewDiePie.
Exactly. That's why. I'm just trying to think of what you say fuck the most. There's
I'm trying to think of something.
Brad's a
good.
gold mine. It should be
Yeah.
super easy to come up with something stupid and silly to tattoo on Brad.
I'm gonna go with Mercury Steam raped and murdered my wife across my chest.
There you go. There you go.
What?
That's a reference, Nick.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Gotcha.
Yep. Good movie. Good movie.
Good movie.
Sure, why not? All right,
right.
that's all the questions we had this week. Thanks to all our patrons for asking questions. Sorry the thread went up only like 12 hours ago, but y'all got right on it.
Still ended up
Yeah.
with a lot of questions. Ended up with a lot of comments, so guys, keep those coming. We're really enjoying reading all your
Definitely.
comments and whatnot. And now we're going to wrap up the show with the 4-player minute. As we always do, we're going to take our hype, our sweat, our shame, and our fuck you of the week. Brad is going to start us off.
Sure. My hype is, of course, for Quadrilateral Cowboy. It comes out very soon, and that game was kind of remarkable from what I played of it. Like, I kind of can't wait. I think Brendan Chung is a really talented game designer.
Yep.
And all the stuff he kind of works on is very cool and different. And I think it could be something special. My sweat, though, on the other hand, is Headlander also comes out the end of the month. And you know what? I think it looks really good, but I just... My worry is for Double Fine, you know? Like, they're doing a lot of projects these days over the past half decade or whatever.
Is Double Fine Headlander?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They've been kind of churning out games. A lot of them have been kind of like different and interesting or unique. And maybe
Headlander
some-
was an Amnesia Fortnite game.
Yeah, and I just really want like a hit for them.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like they've been kind of struggling. I want a hit. I want someone with like good scores that people are interested in. I don't know if this is going to be
What is
it,
happening to the microphones?
but man, I really want that. It could have been him muting it.
Well, I touched mine, so I reseeded it, but apparently it made it worse.
My fuck you goes to Nintendo. I was listening to like an old Beastcast or something, I don't know, and they started talking about Elite Beat Agents and Oendon, and I
those games
realized
are
like
so good.
how amazing they were and
Yeah.
how fucked that we live in a world where it doesn't exist anymore, and that's sad, you know, because Nintendo should have been, you know what? You need to make one for the 3DS or the Wii U or something. Like, there's no reason that should have just been lost to time. It was so great.
Can you imagine how they
Fuck whoever is the reason why that doesn't exist anymore. It was so good. And my thank you goes to Chris Davis for helping me with some computer stuff. And, you know, that's it.
That's it.
Cool. Nolan?
All right. My hype is for. Oh shit! I just forgot the name of it.
This game?
Yeah.
No Man's Sky?
No.
Oh, come on.
Oh, I don't know. Fuck it. Deus Ex. I have been thinking about that a lot lately. That comes out
Mankind Divided?
Yeah, next month. I don't know. I don't know. There's too many games. My sweat is for I Am Setsuna. Like, I don't know. I played a demo of it at E3, and I liked what I played to an extent. It kind of confused me a little bit, but hopefully it's good.
RPGs are kind of hard to demo.
Yeah, they are. No, they definitely are.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. My thank you goes to Niantic. Is that their name? Niantic.
Yes.
The Pokemon
Niantic.
company. Because now, thank you / fuck you. Because Bernadette now wants to play that, and so like we have a date on Saturday to go Pokemon hunting, which I mean I guess is good and bad. I'm excited to do it, but it's also kind of if I'm out Pokemon hunting, I can't be at home playing other games. So I mean, I don't know. Like it's frustrating because I do enjoy it, but I also know it's something that is going to be fleeting, and you know it's kind of one of those things where it's like I could be doing something else. I don't know. Whatever. Yep.
Cool. Chris Davis.
All right, my hype and my sweat go to the same topic. I am building a new PC right now. I'm going to be converting my current PC into a broadcast PC, and I'm going to cannibalize those hard drives and put them in a whole new build. I'm going to get a GTX 1080. I'm going to get just a really nice setup.
What do you need a 1080 for? Oh, good. So the new one's going to be gaming.
Yeah, the new one's going to be gaming.
Okay.
The old one's going to be a broadcast PC, so I don't have any performance loss.
Okay.
Because I do notice in like some of my higher end games, I drop down to like almost unacceptable levels sometimes. But I did the math on it, and this is going to be more painful than my last PC to get really working.
Are you getting a fucking 10-core processor?
Well, no, I'm getting the newest Skylake, which is like $300. But just everything that's going to add up to this, because all my other systems are kind of
PCs.
all my other PCs I've kind of cannibalized into the next build.
Yeah.
This one's going to be an entirely new standalone build. Mm-hmm. So I've got to get the new graphics card. I got to get another monitor, and I want to get a new G-Sync monitor because I've fallen in love with that.
That's a lot of money right there.
Yeah, that's half of it.
Yeah.
And then that and the graphics card. But just everything I got to put the money into, it's
I think honestly one of the most expensive things people when they talk about building PCs is monitors can get really fucking up there. If you get a decent one, you can get like $100 monitor, but if you want a good gaming monitor that has a low response time, a high refresh rate,
IPS,
and those $600-$700, they aren't cheap.
The one I'm looking at is like $750 right now.
Dude, I'm rocking 2 fucking monitors that total to like $350. And they aren't great, but I mean, they get the job done. Like I wish I had a better one, but
but once you go G-Sync 120, 144 hertz, you don't want to go back at all. You can't. I guess my thank you this week would be to Krispy for being out and doing his Ghostbusters exposition.
Thank you.
Excursion.
More like a fuck you.
he's also not going to be able to.
Oh,
cast
you're
on
thanking
Saturday.
him because you were able to. Be
I'm
on the
able to get on the
I
podcast
get
and talk about games like Valhalla and Fru, which y'all are not going to play. So
Can't play.
At least I know. At least I know that game.
I'm glad y'all
exists now.
know they exist because they're pretty cool. And my fuck you this week it's from the heart. Fuck you, Nintendo. Fuck you, you cheap ass pieces of shit. Why the fuck did y'all announce this plug and play NES bullshit system that's $60 for 30 games? That's not even gonna have like the ability to purchase more games on the fucking virtual console. No, this is just it's a plug and play piece of shit that's connected via HDMI.
He has a prop.
You know what? Tell you what, Sega beat you to the market years ago, Nintendo. Let me show you something. I got this for Christmas from my brother. It's a Sega Genesis, the plug and play system. It comes with.
I was in when I was in Pittsburgh last time. I walked into a store and there was mountains of these things. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
It
comes with 2 controllers. Comes with 40 games,
80.
40 Sega Genesis games, plus 40 piece of shit, Action 52 kind of games.
Yeah.
Okay? You know what? It comes with like fucking Sonic 1 and 2 and Spinball and Sonic and Knuckles. Comes with Altered Beast, the Mortal Kombat original trilogy,
I bet
Vector
that
Man 1
thing's
and 2,
junk, though.
Rise Star. Good games, okay? And you know
So's
what?
the thing,
Guess what? This thing lets you play fucking Genesis cartridges too. And this thing, my brother bought it for $30. Half the price of your piece of shit NES thing. So fuck off. Fuck you guys.
Sound like a Sega fanboy over here.
I'm not even a Sega fanboy. It just annoys me that they put out this system
Man, I didn't know
for
you were so,
$60
I didn't know you
for
were so
30
passionate
games.
about
Looks like
this.
you haven't even opened it up.
It won't. No, because I own a Sega Genesis
It
home
doesn't
and I have a
matter.
Retro
It's the
5.
But your
principle,
brother's
Brad.
at home
It's the
watching
principle,
this
Brad.
with a tear rolling down
But
his
it
cheek.
plays fucking Genesis cartridges. The mini NES won't. They charge you $10 for an extra controller when this one had fucking 2. It's half the price. What the fuck, Nintendo? Fuck off.
All right. Well, that was.
Sega does what Nintendo don't, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, you didn't come up with that, did you?
No.
No.
It's a very
Nick, that
famous
was a fucking
90s.
famous
I've never heard that before.
catchphrase when the Sega Genesis came out.
Oh, I don't. Dude, back when the Sega Genesis came out, I didn't pay attention to video games. You heard me?
Clearly,
I had a
didn't pay
SNES.
attention in history class.
They cover that in history class?
Of course.
Oh, I didn't know that. Anyways, my hype this week is going to go to Red Dead Redemption.
I hope your brother gets you that Nintendo console for Christmas. And then you don't play that one. Red Dead Redemption, Nick.
Red Dead Redemption.
Wow.
I started playing Red Dead just to see how it runs on the Xbox One.
Oh, so you got the Xbox One version?
Yeah, I mean, it's backwards compatible, so just pop in the
Oh,
disc
okay,
and-
okay, yeah.
Runs pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know if I buy all. There was a lot of people talking about how it runs at a solid 30 frames a second the entire time. I noticed some, drop frames and whatnot here and there. But that's beyond the point. Red Dead Redemption is such a fucking amazing
Isn't
game.
it?
I was not planning
so
on playing this
good.
game again. I was just gonna pop it in and try it out.
Yeah.
I think I've fully committed to playing that game
Please
again.
don't.
It's so
It's so-
fucking
Please
it's
don't.
so
You have
good,
so
though.
many other things to
dude.
play,
I don't
though.
give a shit. I'll be playing it again on Saturday on the feed.
Dude,
so
the best part
I'm
was
glad,
fucking,
Nick. I mean,
the best part was fucking Manifest Destiny, just killing all those goddamn buffalo, just kill them all.
Dude,
I couldn't do that.
I-
I couldn't bring myself.
I fucking love Red Dead Redemption so much, and just playing it for 2 hours last Saturday was so much fun.
The game was so good.
My fucking horse ran over the sheriff.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oops. Oh yeah, of course I forgot to mention that my 4-player minute is of course brought to you by Jason Bourne, which I'm also super hyped for.
How many tickets have you bought for that, Nick?
16. But I'm getting
16?
But I'm
16?
getting 8 of them refunded. I bought
you
at
should
one theater and I
probably
switched
get
to another.
9 of them refunded, Nick.
No, I mean I have plenty of other people I can.
Oh, excuse me.
You were special, Brad. You were special.
Plenty of other friends. I get it.
Go fuck yourself, Brad. My fuck you goes to Brad. No, my sweat, like Nolan said, is also I Am Setsuna. I do want that game to be good. I just can't remember the last time I saw a game like a classic traditional RPG like this.
Remember the games
that came out this generation where I was like, that was fucking amazing. Like,
Remember the games I gave to everybody? I gave, like, Crispy was supposed to play Link to the Past. You were supposed to play Final Fantasy 6. You know what you should do?
what?
You should do a thing where you broadcast you playing some I Am Setsuna, which is supposed to channel the RPGs of old, and then play some Final Fantasy 6. I mean, because think about it. Like, if you were,
No, I'm
if you
sorry.
were
I
to-
was laughing at Joseph popped in the chat to make a joke about me masturbating in a movie theater 16 times.
if you were to get into,
Sorry.
if you were to give I Am Setsuna a chance, there's no reason you shouldn't give like Final Fantasy 6 a chance. That's a goddamn
I
classic.
have played Final Fantasy 6 before
Yeah, but
for
well,
like
like
3 hours.
yeah, well,
My pants kind
Keep
of match
going.
the couch.
keep going. Did
Uh,
I give you a game?
I don't know. I was about to ask.
It's supposed to be some
He
homework.
said that last week, and he wasn't here last week.
Oh,
give me-
oh, it was
I know
Jack,
that.
I think.
Yeah. My fuck you of the week goes to my PC, which I had to push the power button 6 times yesterday to get it to turn on.
It's not a fucking gas. You don't gotta prime it. It's not like a lawnmower.
No, I mean, like, I pushed it, and I waited a few seconds. Nothing happened. And I did that about 6 times. And I eventually just reset.
Where's the power supply?
I reset the
Maybe,
power.
I guess.
It's probably the fucking power supply. It took 6 fucking tries to get it to turn on, and that's not an uncommon occurrence with my PC. Also, it tends to lock up and freeze when I'm broadcasting or playing. It happened to me last week while I was broadcasting a console game. All my problems that I've been having before have been PC games. It crashed on me while playing a console game. It's just so frustrating. I wish I could play PC games, broadcast PC games, without having to worry every 5 seconds if it's going to crash or not. My sweat of the week goes to Neo.
I thought your sweat was Ian Setsuna.
Oh, oops! I have 2 sweats. I wrote it down wrong. Fuck. Yeah.
Nick's so sweaty.
2 sweats. I'm gonna give my second sweat to Neo.
Yeah. We didn't talk about that in the news.
The PlayStation Neo.
Oh, is different Neo?
Yeah,
a different Neo.
Neo.
You gotta be racist.
Oh, sorry. I'm very, very, very excited for that game. Still, it's been on my brain since the alpha, beta, whatever they want to call it. Play that. Loved it. Saw it at E3. Loved it then too, but haven't really heard much about it. Haven't had a solid release date on it yet. You still can't pre-order it, which just is weird. Like, you could fucking pre-order so much shit like years in advance, and you can't even find this on Amazon. It's not there.
Yeah.
Just flat out not there. Not even if I wasn't planning on pre-ordering it. Like, the fact that you can't find it listed anywhere.
Don't let that get to you.
It seems kind of concerning.
I'm glad they're trying to stop pre-orders.
But it's like, dude, it's not even about that. It's almost like they haven't even committed to actually releasing it here. It's just weird that it's nowhere to be found.
The fact that they put out the alpha here and that it was E3, no, it's coming out.
I know it's coming. It's just concerning. Like, it's a weird situation.
Nick, how come you're more concerned about this even though you've never played The Last Guardian?
But I've had The Last Guardian pre-ordered for like 3 years.
Is that's what makes a game come out? Pre-ordering it?
No, that's not the point though. You're missing the point.
Is that all the people who pre-ordered Duke Nukem Forever back in like the
never
fucking early 2000s?
I have never, ever come across a game that you just can't find online to order. It's never happened.
Can you pre-order
That sounds like a
Setsuna?
challenge.
You can dude, you should see what pops up when I type in Neo into Amazon. So many games that I've never heard of that aren't out yet. I was like, I can pre-order a game I've never heard of, but Neo is nowhere to be from the same publisher, no less. Koei Tecmo games are on Amazon to pre-order, but Neo is not. It's just weird. It gives me a weird vibe, and it's concerning because I really, really want to play that game.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Did we want to mention anything about the PlayStation Neo? Let's talk
about it next week.
Next week.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't read up on it.
I'm feeling Sony might finally say something.
Yeah, they might actually say something this week, considering this is a pretty heavy leak. Anyways, that is all. That is our show this week, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out and listening. And, of course, 4playernetwork.com is the website. If you have any thoughts about anything we talked about today that you would like us to bring up next week, you know what to do. Leave a comment on the post for the site, on the site post for this podcast at 4playernetwork.com, and we'll get to it at the beginning of next week. Thank you to all of our patrons for submitting questions, all the good stuff. And, of course, you can watch us broadcast games every single night over at 4pp.tv. And with that...
What about 4playernetwork.com/giveaways?
4playernetwork.com/giveaways. We're giving away a copy of Inside this month, so check that out. Yeah, that's all we got. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Bye.